Right, everybody, let's get this show started. See, you guys already started in the chat room. It's always great. Mozman, he made it in. Let's see. Headed to the restaurant now. We'll be listening en route. All right. So he and Mr. Vahagan have been out shooting all day. Maybe they'll come in and tell us some of the things that were going on. Let's see. Hey, Mike, good to see you, buddy. Agnathan, I saw David over in the pre-chat. Charles, saw you there. All right. Man, you know, there's a lot to unpack in this firmware update for the Z9, and we'll get to that here in a bit, but we'll let everybody settle in. Mr. Jeffrey, did you not check your email today, sir? Yeah, there's not a lot in the news other than everybody's commenting on, I mean, the big buzz is the big giant package firmware update that Nikon dropped for the Z9. Just a little bit for the Z6 II, Z7 II. We really don't know what it's all about until that firmware update comes out. We can download it and see just how much it includes. Because the only thing in it that I think everybody was waiting for is that it states AF improved, or improved AF to be specific, and the AF point won't jump to the background and leave the subject. There's got to be more to it than that, so maybe we'll get some. Okay, all right, Jeffrey, hang on just a second. So anyway, let's get a few more people in here. Wow, we've got more people in here already than normal, and that's good. Albert, hello, buddy. Yeah, you're my neighbor, man. We're so close. We're definitely going to have to get together. I know we talked about it. We're going to have to do that, do a shoot. Give me just a second here. All right, all right. Give me just a second. Just a second. All right, Mr. Jeffrey. Ball's in your court now. All right. So I've invited quite a few people. I know it's Saturday night and a lot of people, you know, may have things to do. I get that. But I'm so glad to see you guys. They show up so often. Hello, Gustavo. And let's see. You know, I'm embarrassed to say I even invited Josh to the show tonight, but I just started watching this video and then had to go do something. So I have not finished. Well, I haven't even hardly started it. I just see them beginning to hike the 11-mile trail, and then I had to go do something else. So for those that don't know, I have been spending a lot of time in the yard. I know you guys don't care about that, but trying to get my yard ready to get this house officially on the market. And we're targeting some, you know, a family, because the house is definitely great for a family. The yard is fantastic. Well, it will be when I finish, but anyway, so that's what I've been up to. So it kind of keeps me busy during the day, but hey, I'm not going to let this go. I really enjoyed doing the live stream, so we're going to continue to do it. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it as well. And Albert says the birds are showing up at Jamaica Bay. Man, I'll get a hold of you, Albert. We're gonna put this together somehow. Yep, Josh and Katie are out shooting. I saw Josh had another post talking about some of the junk he's dealing with as far as comments, excuse me, on his videos. I know that from in here because while we're live, I'll see several come across and I'll just knock them out as fast as I can. And nobody wants to see that junk. Let's see. All right. Good evening, Greg. All right, Jeffrey. How are you this evening?
Good. How are you?
Hey, we're all going to pitch in and take up a collection to get you a real backdrop. Just picking on you, man.
It would be, I've been looking for like Nikon logos or something that I can hang off it to make it a little bit nicer.
You should have one of your bird photos blown up to about what, 72 by 108.
Well, I mean, I've got a couple 20 by 30s I could probably hang off of it.
Well, if you put enough of them back there, that'll work. All right. Good deal. Good deal. Thanks for jumping in.
No problem.
Yeah, Mike, I don't know what's going on, but he was talking about it in a real quick vid, or I don't know if it's a video or not. I think it was just a short or something like that post saying, hey, he's dealing with all these comments, not from fans. I don't know what it is. It's just people spamming, and I don't know. But anyway, all right. Have you had a chance to look through all the bits and pieces of this firmware update, Jeffrey?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
David said he was spammed from Josh's site today. Yeah, he said he thinks it may be emanating from a WhatsApp comment or chat or something. So beware. Yeah, I've got it pulled up on the screen back here, and I can share the screen, and we'll sit down and go through that. We'll let a few more people get in here. Let everybody make a few comments. I know this doesn't help for my subscriber base or new subscribers. They show up, and the first 10 minutes is either me fixing the audio or something else, and they're like, "Well, this isn't a channel for me." But we'll wait a minute. And everybody ready? Mr. Taye Keyz, how are you, sir?
I'm great. How are you?
Man, you need to get a phone book or something to sit on.
His chair sinks like mine, Chuck, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. How you doing, sir?
I'm great.
Yeah, see that fake brick wall back there?
I know. I'm in my kitchen.
Okay. Well, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Anything cooking?
No, my wife's gone.
No, okay.
She gone.
How are you this evening?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How'd your shoot go?
I ain't had no shoot.
You said you had a shoot tonight when you answered my.
No, I said I'm a Fuji guy, and what did I say? I said I'm a Fuji guy. So what did I say? Hold
up. You're gonna make me go hunt up the Instagram message.
No, when you said you sent me a link, I said I got you on, and then I said I'm a Fuji man. Laugh out loud.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, and then what did I say? I said
I do
know you're a Fuji man. Yeah,
I have a good shoot tonight, but I ain't say nothing about no shoot.
You said it last night or yesterday or something.
Oh, that was Wednesday.
Yeah,
you going back to Wednesday?
Hey! You get my age. Days, months, it's all together.
Jeffrey, I'm in my kitchen.
There ain't nothing wrong with that.
Hey, I'm in a spare bedroom, so I don't know who's worse.
Hey, I get only the best guests, man, for my show. Okay, with great studios. Hey, Taye, what do you think about this Nikon firmware update, though?
I think it's going to be a beast too.
It is.
But I do want to say that Fuji XT H2 coming out with 2 cameras, so I think that's going to be the next.
Yeah, we're got to wait and see. Hey, you've heard me say I like Fuji colors.
Yeah. I think they net the neck to like Nikon, so Nikon got some good colors too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, okay. So you know what? Let me be fair. Canon's got good color too. And Sony has definitely improved. Not knocking Sony. You know, why would I knock Sony? Look how many cameras they're selling. So again, not a hater here.
Yeah.
Although I can hate some of the fanboys of some of the other brands, but you know, I'm not a hater of any of the cameras. Everybody's making a good camera right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's just whatever your taste is. That's, you know, that's what it's all about right there.
Yeah, I know what I think. Wherever your dream is, go for it.
Yeah.
Like you were saying with that the dude that you had last time, I guess you were going through something about photography stuff. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
So that was dope.
Yeah. You know, I had somebody actually send me an email talking about, I don't know. It was some comments that were said in one of the live streams he was listening to, and he shoots Sony, and he said, I just get tired of hearing people say that, you know, my camera system sucks or whatever. And I can understand that because it's not the camera. It's not the camera system. Again, you know, everybody has what they want. And if anybody could complain, it's us Nikon shooters, because man, they have raped Nikon over the last 3 years on all of the review channels and everything else. All right. So let me get over here. A few comments coming in before we start digging into this.
Yeah. I don't know if you could hear me, Chuck, or not, because I'm frozen on the screen here. I might have to get out and come back in again.
I hear you, but there's a little bit of crackling going on. Maybe it'll catch in a second. You're still fine on this end as far as the video.
Oh, okay. I'm frozen on my screen for some reason, but that's all right.
Didn't you get that new M1 or Apple Studio yet?
Yeah, I have it next to me, and I'm basically transferring all my data from the machine I'm on now to the new one via an external hard drive right now. So I'll have it for next week.
Let me know how that goes.
Yeah.
Let me know how that goes. I don't think about getting that.
It did not want to migrate the data via my wireless signal at all. I mean, it ran for 2 days, and it kept saying, "Oh, another 20 hours, it'll be done." And I called Apple, and I had to shut down and call my ISP provider and talk with them, and then talk to Apple 2 or 3 more times. And I finally just said, "I'm just going to take my."
Can you fix your microphone? Yeah, you sound.
How's it now?
No, you're probably going to have to reboot, buddy.
I'll have to reboot.
All right.
Let me try that. I will be back.
Okay. We ain't going nowhere. Hassan's in here. All right. Happy Grits Day. Were you in here that night we went through the grits debate? Taye Keyz?
No, I won't.
No, you wasn't in here?
No.
You eat grits? You like grits?
Yeah, with sugar.
With sugar. All right. you like cream of wheat.
Yeah.
Me too. I grew up on cream of wheat, but everybody else in the family, well, pretty much ate grits. I'm not a grit fan.
I can eat grits with sugar, oatmeal with sugar, spaghetti with sugar.
I was in the Army with a guy that always put sugar on spaghetti. I never.
Yes, sir. Try. You gotta try that.
Oh no, I tried it then. I thought, man, you're crazy.
I put sugar on what you call it, with the meat and the roni, the beefaroni.
Oh, beefaroni, yeah.
Yeah, I put sugar in that too. I put sugar in my beans too.
No.
Hey, it's that Southern down here.
Yeah, well. Oh man, I don't know about sugar in my beans. No, rich with sugar. Hassan.
Hey, Jeffrey, let me know how that studio go, man.
Yeah, I will. I mean, the like I said, the migration did not work well via Wi-Fi, and finally, I just took and did a time machine.
You put it.
Did time machine on my old computer, saved everything on it, and then hooked it up to the new one, and I'm going that route. And so far, it's got about 2 hours left.
Oh, you should have got a external hard drive to be more quicker and faster.
You know, I got 1.6 terabytes of data.
Oh,
so,
well,
but it'll be done in, you know, a total of like 5 hours, which after over 2 days with the Wi-Fi and getting nowhere, I'll take 5 hours.
yeah. I know people were saying about that studio thing, man. They were saying in and out. So I was like, do I want to get it or do I want to trade mine in for a big one?
The trade-in value they offered me for my iMac was horrible, and I'm just going to keep it.
Yeah,
I'm going to keep it, put it in a different area, and I'm not getting rid of it. You know, when something works good, you know, it just wasn't going to be good enough if I get into doing video 4K and stuff. I didn't feel it was up to date enough, so I spent the money.
I tried to trade in my iMac, and they said they'd take it off my hands for $50.
Right.
Yeah.
They won't give you much. See,
meaning I'll pay them to dispose of it. Mine's old though. My old iMac, the only iMac I have, it's old. That's a 2013 or 2011. I don't know. Art Bear, how you doing, Ted? Good evening.
I'm on the live thing with the photographers.
Yeah,
I cut it off.
Yeah, I saw your comment up there too, Charles. That's good. Welcome to the food channel. Just letting a few more people get in here, and then we'll get with it and start talking about this update.
All right.
We're all going to listen to. I said we're all going to listen to Taye and his phone call.
Oh, I thought we were going to be able to. I thought we were going to be able to put in a food order with them. Have them order some food for us.
Uncle Chuck, unlike you, I got to answer that call. Got to answer.
You betcha. You betcha.
When Mama call, you got to call.
I know who the boss is here. And I say that every now and then on the stream because she checks in.
Yeah, you'd have what they call broken leg syndrome if you didn't answer that phone call.
Or you be in that shed in that barn.
Yep. You're absolutely right. And I may have to run to help her. I've got her set up upstairs. She paid for a concert that's on TV. She had to pay for the whatever. Anyway, I've got her set up upstairs, but what's the chances of that not having a problem? I got it running through her iPad, through the TV and everything else. See, if I had a brand new TV that I could just do an AirPlay or something, I don't know, but can't do it on that TV. But I don't mind. She takes care of me. So, you know, that's my bride.
Mm-hmm. That's our real.
Yep. Absolutely.
I have a interesting thing to share with you. I got a response from Ricky on the question I had with the 3D tracking improvements that he casually mentioned during his video.
Right.
And he responded and he said, well, I removed it from my video. And he wouldn't give me specifics because he said the improvement is so good that he's going to make a separate video about it.
Oh, see, I thought he was going to go the other way.
No,
I removed it because it don't work.
No, but it sounds like if you look at the very little bit of information with the 1.4 firmware upgrade for the Z6 II, Z7 II, it makes a comment about making it so the focus point doesn't jump to the background as easily. And that's kind of like my biggest hang up with the 3D tracking is you're tracking the bird it gets below the tree line could be 100 yards away, and it'll jump off the bird and go to the tree line. And the last time I checked, if I'm on subject detect animals, I haven't seen a pine tree that looks like an osprey yet.
Right.
So there's no reason to jump, but it does. So I'm thinking they made the 3D tracking a lot stickier. And so I'm looking forward to trying it out when I can put the firmware on the Z9, because I think they probably improved it greatly. Because if he doesn't want to tell me in a response, then and he's going to come out with a separate video, they must have done something really, really good with it.
Yeah, Jeffrey, the crackle's back in your audio. I don't know. It's kind of a cross between it's clipping or you've got a connection that's loose, and it could be a number of any number of other things. But
if you probably lower your input down,
yeah,
is that all right now?
No,
you got your input down a little bit.
Yeah, let me. Let's see.
There it is. I don't know. Are you sure it isn't a connection?
My mic gain, I turned it down a little.
No, that isn't doing it. That's not it.
I don't know.
Let's see.
Got the mic gain down quite a bit, actually.
You must got that Walmart mic.
No, I got an M Audio Uber mic. I got an Uber mic, and I guess I'm not in an Uber vehicle, so it's not
right.
Right.
All right. Now let's jump in here. Let's get some comments going. Let's get this started with some of the updates. Taye, you're just going to have to grab hold and hang on, man. Comment where you can.
Right.
Interesting to see what you think about some of these things too. As a Fuji shooter,
I know a little bit about Nikons, but not much.
Yeah, what I mean, if something comes up and it interests you, maybe either something that Fuji's already doing or something you'd like to see Fuji do.
Oh,
after having using the Nikon Z and Lumix S, I think the Z autofocus is great, but I love the autofocus interface much better on the Lumix S, more intuitive. Yeah, Hassan, that's been a criticism since the Z9 came out, and that's something that I actually said too. Everybody kept asking me, "What do you think, man? What do you think?" And I kept pushing everybody off, like, let me play with it some more, because the autofocus system on the Z9 is not just a plug and play and go out and shoot, in my opinion. You've got to play with this camera a little bit to get used to it. It's got a whole lot more possibilities than any camera that Nikon's put out yet. And you know what? Just as I begin to understand some of it, now they're going to throw this update out that's going to throw me for a loop again with, all the other features that they've either improved or added. So it's going to be interesting. But I agree with you, Hassan.
Mm-hmm. That Lumix good too now. That's a beast too.
Yep. The Lumix. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that Lumix good too. And it's good for videos.
Yes. Yeah, and I think that's where it shines.
Yeah, I think it's top of the line for the videos.
All right. Try it, Jeffrey.
Okay, testing.
No, we're moving you to the back of the room.
Move me to the back of the room.
Yeah. No,
I don't know. It seems like it's I don't have anything set different than what I've had all the other times I went on with you. So it's
do we got the gain on it? Do we got gain on it?
Yeah, it has gain, and I've moved it, and it hasn't seemed to done anything favorable. How about now?
No, that's worse.
That's worse.
Worse.
Yeah, the gain's working, so it's not clipping because of the gain.
Right. Yeah. Okay, I don't get it unless I have the mic too close to me, maybe.
No, as you move the mic without saying anything, just move the mic. There it is. It's in the mic itself.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. We got a loose connection or something. All right.
I hope Fro a great
Yeah, let's throw it up there.
Yeah.
Taye. I think you mean, I think Mike's means he hopes for a great AF firmware for the, yeah. Way I understand they can only do as much as they can with what they have. Yeah, which is another thing. And I was trying to explain that or say that over on Vahagraphy's channel the other day. You know, a lot of people were complaining about Z6 to Z7 love. And, you know, guess what? You're gonna have to wait for that XSpeed 7 processor for some of the things that you want. And that's just the way it is. We're not going to get Z9 performance in the Z6 II and Z7 II. And you know, obviously, I don't think they want to do that in that camera. However, I don't think it matters because I don't think that they can do that in that those cameras. So I hope that makes people feel better. And just like I said over there, I have a Z6. That's what I'm shooting on right now. Love it for this, man. This is it's fantastic for streaming and everything. Excuse me, and even video. I have a Z6 too as well. And hey, you know, it is what it is. I bought it knowing that I bought it without thinking that it was ever going to get a major firmware update. Honestly, this is kind of a first for me with Nikon equipment. I sure didn't get it with my D4, D5, or D850, or D800, or D810. You know, some minor upgrade or firmware updates, but so it is what it is. And, you know, Nikon has said that what we see in the Z9 is going to trickle down into the future bodies. So that's another topic for tonight with these updates, these firmware updates. What do we think the Z6 III is going to be like, the Z7 III and the Z8? I know a lot of people don't like to speculate, but I don't have a problem with it because I'm pretty opinionated. I don't mind.
So
No,
Chuck,
you're not.
so
No, you're not.
so the Z9 the Z9, the firmware update, which I get with the update, the 2.0.
Yeah.
So what come with the update? Okay,
On
Chuck.
you want to know what comes with the update?
A laundry list like the size of a newspaper.
Yes. There you go. Hang on a second. I'll show you.
I can rattle off a bunch if you want.
Or we can just go to the list.
Yeah.
Here you go, Taye.
Get your magnifying glass out.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to read it, especially doing it this fast. But yeah, I figured we'd go down the list here in a little while and throw it up here. But it's on the Nikon USA site. Anybody can go check it out.
Okay.
And man, it's just a laundry list of things that they're doing. Some not so big, others are huge, especially on the video side. Taye, if you're really wanting to do, if you're really into video, and I know you're videoing your shoots and things like that.
Yes, sir.
But man, now you can go with the Z9. You can go to 8K 60 RAW with NRAW, Nikon RAW, and up to
well, I got 3K, Chuck. 8.3K.
Well, yeah, I don't want to discount that 0.3.
Don't forget the 0.3. Exactly.
So huge video shakeup on the Z9, and that's all internal, man. You don't have to put an Atomos Ninja 5 Plus on your camera. You do it right there on the card.
Golly.
Now the cards are going to be expensive to handle this much. However, the big thing with the NRAW over ProRes RAW HQ, which is also being added with this, is NRAW is half the size of ProRes RAW HQ. That's huge. Extends your record time, extends your battery life and everything else because the processor's not working. Or maybe it is working harder. I don't know.
They're trying to make the Z9 10 times more better. Dang.
Yeah. Well, that's what they're saying. They're saying that this makes it the Z9 II. Yeah. Almost another camera.
Yeah.
I don't know that I agree with that, but you got to admit, man, this is a huge firmware update for a camera. And that's just one of many things in there.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for new Fuji to come out. So that's because I know this coming out. Fuji's coming out with 2 cameras, like I said, one
Yeah.
with 24 megapixels and then one with 40 megapixels, and plus it's going to be 8K.
Okay.
So,
8K capable. All right.
So I think it's going to be probably knit with the Z9, but that's what I think.
You know what? I hope that it
much.
is. And I've said this, you know, the more Nikon pushes the envelope, the more everybody else is going to.
Right,
Guess what? I've said it from get-go that Canon R1 is going to be a monster. You know, I'm not going to lie. I know it is.
Mm-hmm.
Will it be better than the Z9? It is possible. But the thing is that now there's competition.
Yeah. If it don't blow up.
Yeah.
Well,
but now there's competition.
Better. You'd like to think it's better because it'll probably cost about $8,000.
Yeah, and you know what? Watch out, because I think Nikon's going to hit it too here before long. I don't think we'll see another flagship at $5,500. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think it's going to happen out of Nikon.
No, if they keep doing firmware updates, though, they'll keep everybody very happy.
Yep.
Yep.
And camera gonna come.
I mean, that's what Fuji. That's what Fuji always did.
Yep. Yep.
You know, that's what I liked about Fuji was they were not afraid to do firmware upgrades.
Right. Mm-hmm. And for the lenses too.
There you go, Jeffrey.
Yeah, I wonder if I switch to my. I don't know how my mic is on my Apple. Probably pretty bad. I could switch to the.
Well, buddy, I got news for you. It isn't going to be annoying. And I'm afraid your mic right now is that constant crackle. So you can try it.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Is it better?
Nope. Still crackling.
Still crackling.
Yep. Let's hear you.
Wow, that's weird.
Yep. Still not as bad, but it's still doing it.
Huh. I wonder why.
So there you go, David, talking about historically Nikon's only issued minor firmware updates or upgrades. Olympus, on the other hand, has issued some major firmware updates. I'm not familiar with it, David, what they've done, but I've heard that, but I've not heard what they've done with firmware updates. They being Olympus. Uh-oh. But you have froze, and I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what this is. No idea. Yeah. I'm going to reboot. Oh. We good?
No, I can't hear you.
I hear you now.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Jeffrey?
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but you got me. This is smoke and mirror stuff, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Man. So I was trying everything I can do. I mean, when it hits that point, if it won't clear, the only thing I can do is shut the stream down and restart it. But then everybody's going to go find it. because it's going to come up in a new link.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, you're
maybe
good.
I'll. You know what?
You're
I'm
good
gonna.
now,
I'll switch
Jeffrey. So
just for
you
Vahaz, I'm gonna switch back.
No, don't touch anything.
There he go again.
Oh, it was working.
Okay, am I still back? How am I now?
You're there.
Yeah,
I don't hear that.
There.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. It wasn't me. It's something weird going on, but I don't think it's me.
All right, we'll go with that.
I'm going to blame the Nikon gods for punishing me for criticizing their 3D tracking.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's the Sony fanboys, Charles. I think it's it could be Nikon itself, because like I told you guys, I'm not on the favorites list over there at Nikon USA. I did run across a few things today when I was looking up the firmware updates and some other information over there on Nikon USA, because I can finally get to my page where you can store all your camera data, all your Nikon cameras and whatever, update your whatever, which I couldn't do for over a year for whatever reason. I tried everything, and I even sent them an email, never heard anything. And anyway, today, because I could finally get into it about 3 weeks ago, I finally was able to get back into it and update it with my Z9 and everything else. And I found some, I don't know, something in my, whatever it is, my app or with them or whatever. Anyway, it was where I had applied for NPS and I never heard anything. So I'd send another one, and I got real nasty in the last one. That didn't help me, I know, but but all of them were case resolved, closed. And I'm thinking, whoa, no, these cases are not closed. I never heard from you. And if I'm gonna do it again. And if they come back and say, well, we've sent you several notices, I'm going to let them know that, you know what, you locked me out of my account for a year and a half. I don't know if you did it. And it wasn't just me. A lot of people were complaining about the same thing. Because I don't know what they were doing, updating the system or whatever, but a lot of us got thrown out for well over a year. But I'm gonna update it again and try it again, see what happens. But yeah, funny. I find it a year after I get back into my account. Go figure. All right, enough of that. Nobody cares about that. All right, Albert. What's Albert got to say? Go live now. You never know what will happen. You're absolutely right, Albert. And I think that's why a lot of people don't want to do the live thing, because they're afraid of these things happening and it's embarrassing or something. No, man, it's live and things happen. Look at live TV, radio, and everything else. Things happen. So,
well, nobody saw it earlier when my hair caught on fire.
Oh. So yeah. So let's see. We got 22 people in here right now, folks. If you like this, if you enjoy it, just the cutting up, chatting, and talking about what's going on in the Nikon,
that like button.
Please hit the like button. And if you like it and you want to come back and join us, you don't have to be a Nikon shooter, do you, Taye?
Nope.
We like all brands. We may pick on one or the other, and you know what? It's okay. Pick on Nikon if you want a little bit too. That's okay. All right. So we're going to keep it light, not nasty, and just have a good photo talk. So, if you like it, subscribe and come back and join us. We're on Saturday nights, every Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, whatever that equates to wherever you are. And Wednesday in the afternoon makes it a little easier for some people, not as easy for others. But we're on at noon Eastern time, 12 p.m. noon Eastern time on Wednesdays. How long do these go? Well, as long as you're in here, it's pretty much going. I think our record is 3 hours and 40 something minutes. And I'm not out to break that tonight. I'm not.
Well, Jeff and Leslie want to know if they can make hair jokes. Go right ahead. I didn't have time to polish it, and I usually go to the bowling alley and stick my head in the machine. I get a nice shine that way.
or you can take the little spray that you clean the bowling ball with.
Yeah, just little buff job.
Lens cleaner.
I'll tell you what I always liked about the Fujis was all the film simulations, because I used to shoot Fuji film, you know, with the 35 millimeters back in the day versus the Kodak film most of the time. I loved Velvia, and I loved Fuji films. So that's great when you can use a film simulation in the camera.
That's funny that you only hear it when you're talking, Jeffrey. It just came back again.
Oh boy!
I told you got that Walmart mic.
I bought the mic at B&H. B&H.
You must got a used one.
Man. Well, if it does it when I switch back to my microphone on the computer, then
your microphone on the computer sound more better than.
Yeah. I'll switch again.
All right.
And don't switch back.
Yes.
I'm better now.
Try.
If I'm better now, then if I'm not better now, I don't know what it is.
No.
Give it a second. Let it go away. Go away. Go away. All right.
It'll be there, I'm sure.
No, there it is. Yep. I don't know, man.
I give up.
Did you? Wait, hang on a minute. Before you say that, did you? Because just taking the headset off doesn't necessarily mean that it defaults to the microphone on the camera.
So you got to change your settings on the restring.
I switched to. I have for output. I have internal speakers or M Audio Uber mic, and I turned off the mic and I switched to the internal speaker. So I assuming when I do that, it's using the internal mic as well. But I can unplug them. I can unplug the mic.
Try it real quick. Let's just see. Hate to put you through that, but
okay, the mic's gone.
Oh,
okay, that's more better.
Yep,
that's better.
Yeah, that's better.
How long have you had it? Not 30 days.
Maybe 3 months.
You need to send that back.
Yeah. I'd call them and ask them.
Yeah, it's the mic.
Okay.
Yeah, it is the mic, no doubt about it. But you don't sound bad on the computer speaker or mic.
Well, when I get the Mac Studio hooked up, supposedly that has a high level mic built in.
You might have a bad cable. So what's it? USB.
USB.
Yeah.
You might have to try another cable with it.
If you can change the cables.
If you can, like
you can't change the cable.
If you could change it.
It's got a special adapter that plugs in the bottom of the mic and then has a USB at the other end.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I'll just use the mic on the computer.
Yeah, it's more better.
There you go.
Echoing of my own voice at my.
All right. Hey, guys, what do you say? Because I can see people are coming and going. What do you say we go down this list? I'll go down this list and you jump in, Taye. Like I said, you hear something, want to know more about it, then we'll tell you go research it because we don't know any more about it.
Well, I do want to ask, are y'all going to Photo Plus in New York?
When is that?
That's in September. When is it? Hold up. October. I think it's September, then October.
Okay.
Let me make sure.
All right. Yeah. If I'm up here, Taye, I'm going. I'll tell you that. I've said I was going to go every year, but because of the work I was doing, every year that time I'd be gone.
September the 29th through October the 1st.
Okay.
I know me and some other photographers gonna get together and go up there. I'm trying my best to go. I'm trying because I want to experience stuff. I just want to go for the export export show and stuff.
Yeah.
Trade and all
Yeah.
that. See that.
Yeah.
And there's mingle with other YouTubers and stuff like
Absolutely.
that. And I can learn and talk more.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm trying my best to go. If my wife let me.
Yeah. Hey, you're an honest man. But yeah, if I'm up here, I'm going to go. Like I said, the work I was doing kept me out of town constantly, and it just seemed every year I'd go through the same thing. So I've been trying to do that because it's down at the Javits Center.
Yeah,
and it's only about an hour from me.
Okay,
and that's only because of the traffic getting to the city.
Yeah, somebody told me, another photographer told me this was like free. You can't beat that.
No,
you can't beat nothing free. That's right down my alley.
Yep, I hear you. Yeah, and another thing that'd be nice is everybody that goes get together and do go out and do a photo walk together. You know, we don't even have to take great pictures, but just everybody get together and go do a photo walk to have fun.
Right.
You know, right there in the city, especially if you like street photography, man, it's great for that. It's great. So yeah, I'd like to. If I'm up here, even if I'm not up here, there's a chance I might sneak my way up for that, because I've said, like I said, for 10 years now, I was going to go. And then of course, COVID knocked out a couple of those. So, but yeah, absolutely.
I did want to go to
tickets for a concert in Nevada with the group that she likes. And I was hoping it was going to line up with WPPI.
Right.
And it didn't. So I was all in. Yes, let's go see that concert. And I'm going to go to the photo show. But it just didn't line up. So
didn't they have one? I think they had one in Virginia. Another one in Virginia with because T-Med told me. But I couldn't.
It was down in Maryland, I believe.
Maryland, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I told T-Med I couldn't make it because my daughter's birthday. So I couldn't make it down. I'm like 2 hours from Virginia. So
where you at, Taye?
In North Carolina.
Oh, okay. My wife loves North Carolina. She was working over there, and now she works from home. But yeah, she was over in Raleigh.
Oh, I ain't but 25 minutes.
Well, let me tell you, and I don't want to get into this because I'm sure people are saying, really? I'm going to sit here and listen to this, but I will say she still has to go back and forth from time to time. We're going to wind up down in Tennessee, and then she can do the I-40 shuffle between wherever we live there, just north of Nashville, and Raleigh. I get over there, I'm going to look you up.
Right. Because from Tennessee, I don't think she got to hit 40 straight on.
Yep.
Through.
Yep. Within 3 miles of where she works.
Right. Yep.
So, yeah, I'm going to look you up.
I ain't with 25 minutes.
All right. Where? South or north?
South.
South of Raleigh?
No, I'm not in Raleigh, but I am with 25 minutes from Raleigh.
Yeah, but I mean, 25 minutes, which direction?
North.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if you were heading down to Vietnam.
No.
I'm very familiar with that, with Fayetteville. I've spent a lot of time in Fayetteville.
I ain't but an hour from Fayetteville.
All right, good. All right, we're not going to bore you folks with all this big get-together we got going on here. So, yeah, I know everybody tunes in. They see the highlight. They see what we're supposed to be talking about. And on my channel, guess what? It just, we talk about what everybody else wants to talk about. But I know that the audience wants to talk about some of this stuff. What say you, audience? You know, you guys are the show. I keep saying it, and I mean it. So over here in the comments, what do you guys say? Oh, we're talking about baseball. See, we done. Everybody.
I know Mike Firmware says, so your guys saw a guy Cali selling his 400.
Yeah.
For 2,000.
So we're talking about some Aurora over here. David's the Aurora man. when he gets better, he's going to come on the show one night and spend about an hour walking us through some Aurora stuff just to show us how much information you have to really be good at that. Not just that, but for those of us in the South, well, forget it. It ain't happening. we're just watching because we're interested. We're not going to see any Aurora. So
you could have David tie it in with how to prepare for shooting in the cold, because I talked to him today on the phone for a while, and he many times shoots in minus 40 degrees.
Your crackling's back. I don't understand that. I don't understand that.
Well, you must got a 2011 MacBook Pro.
2017 iMac.
No.
No.
All right.
Well,
all right.
I'll just on the chat, Chuck, because I'm too distracting to the show. So
it's coming and going, Jeffrey. So I mean, chances are in a few minutes it's gone again.
Yeah, but it's just an irritant. So it may be coming, but I'm going, and I'll talk to you in the chat.
Okay.
Okay. We'll see you guys in the chat in a few minutes.
All righty. Who just sent me? Okay. All right. Just checking, folks. See if anybody else is on the outs and can't get in.
Somebody said those with the Z9, Z72, Z62. Which one will you update first? The Z9?
Yeah, Gustavo. So there are a lot of people that are saying they're not going to update their firmware right away. You know, when it's the 20th, it's supposed to be available for download, and a lot of people are saying they're going to wait and let everybody else be a beta tester on this. You know what,
David? Right.
Yeah, I don't. I'm terrible about updating firmware on cameras. I'll just tell you that right now. It took me forever to update firmware on the D850 for the CF Express cards. But if I'm not busy that day and, it's available to download, I'll download it and upload the camera with a new firmware update. I'll take that chance. I know I'm crazy. People said that all my life. But I'll do it. I'll be the test bunny. I don't care. And it's going to be the Z9 first. I mean, I want to see what it can do. I'm not so concerned with the Z62, and, I don't have a Z7 or Z72. I'm not so concerned with the Z62. I'll get around to that, but I am more interested actually in what it's going to do, only because so many people are talking about it and complaining, saying, Nikon let us down, and if they don't fix this, I'm leaving Nikon. And there are people that are actually saying that kind of stuff, and I hate to hear it, especially when Nikon never promised anything. And people are still running around saying Nikon promised us. They promised firmware updates. They did not say we're going to update the AF on the Z62, Z72 to rival the Z9. They did not make that statement or even update the AF. They just said there would be firmware updates. So, it's a tough pill to swallow. And I don't mean to pick on anybody that was banking on that being fact. It is what it is, though. And we just got to get by. Maybe the firmware in this smaller firmware update will be good. We just got to wait and see. Then
are they coming with updates for the 7.2 or 6.2 or the 9?
Yeah, they're coming out with a update for the Z62 and Z72 also.
Oh, okay.
And I've got that information. Actually, it's up here on the screen. Let me grab it real quick. Let's talk about it real quick, and then we'll get back to the Z9. I got to scroll down this laundry list here. Man, that's crazy. In addition to firmware version 1.4 for the Nikon Z7 II and Z6 II has improved AF performance. This update will enhance the stability of the AF, preventing the focus point from unintentionally moving to the background. The ability to emulate linear focus with select lenses will also be added while manually focusing, so that the users can smoothly adjust the focus position. as intended with an operational feeling similar operational feeling similar to the cinema lenses. Firmware update also supports the ML-L7 remote control, which was released in September 2018. I wrote that down. I've got this on my list, and I never got to it to see what that is. So anybody in the comments that knows what this ML-L7 remote control is, share it with us here. So I never got to investigate that. And that's what the Z6.2 and Z7.2 firmware update will do. Now, what does that mean in the user's hands? Is it going to be better than what you think based on what you read, or is it going to be worse? We don't know until we actually download it and try it, which I will do. Maybe I do it this time. I get off my behind and update it real quick, so at least I can come in and throw my opinion at everybody as to what it did. But that is the update for the Z6.2 and Z7.2. No doubt there'll be a lot of bug fixes and things like that they found that'll also come out in that update. But and it's sad that the information about this firmware update comes out with the Z9 update. And no doubt this update for the Z6.2, Z7.2 sounds minuscule. Sounds like it's nothing, because we have this giant list of things that are coming out for the Z9. And then again, a lot of people are mad about that. Sure, don't give us, your loyal customers updates, but update the flagship cameras that nobody can afford, blah, blah, blah. So I understand people being upset, but it's just one of those things, And I could be snippy, and I have been before, even though I shouldn't be. But, my 2002 Dodge pickup truck, man, I never got any updates for it. And Lord knows it could have used some, that's for sure. All right. And again, I'm not making light of the situation, because I do have a Z6.2 as well.
So which one you like best, the 9 or the Z6.2?
Well, it's easy to say. The Z9 all the way. I mean, because it does everything. Now, don't get me wrong. I love the Z6.2 for a lot of. I love it for video. It's great. And I've shot some portrait sessions with the Z6.2. And I've got a D850 still. So the one of the things I wanted from the Z9 was the almost 46 megapixel, say 45 megapixel sensor. And then I could put the D850 away and just go mirrorless. So Gustavo, absolutely. Hang on just a second. I will give you that number. Here we go. The call line is open, and you guys are more than welcome to call in. Make sure the phone's ready to go. All right. All right. Okay, here we go. Hassan says MLL7 allows settings adjustment and remote trigger. I think it also allows function changes too, but not sure about that one. Why am I not familiar with this? Why did I not even know that existed? Good job on the marketing on that, Nikon. Not. The MC N10 remote grip. There's more information that's going to come out for that, and the price. It's going to come out later. What's later? Don't know. They didn't specify. But the one thing that I hadn't even considered is it can be used for photo or video use. And the picture that they showed initially didn't show all the other buttons on the back side of that grip. So it's a wired grip, meaning obviously you're going to use a USB cable, I'm sure, from the grip to the camera. And they're talking about this thing being used. There was something about possibly pulling focus or something. So it's going to be interesting to see what it does. There's all kinds of speculation. Everybody's trying to blow up the photo of the backside of it to see what the buttons on the back are. But I don't know that anybody knows anything conclusive yet. So that's the MC N10 remote grip. Well, you know what? I wouldn't at least been interested in it. But when I got to see the backside and everything that it does and thought about, man, it's got a rosette connection on it. So you can put it on you can connect it right to the handle on your fluid head. And, it might be a pretty neat deal. So it'll be interesting to see what comes of that. And before we get into the other updates and whether, everybody may not care, but Nikon CFX B card, they say that it's going to be out in June, starting in June, with a list price right now of $729.95. That's for 660 gigabit CF Express B card with a write speed. And as I read it, well, you know what? Don't let me rely on my bad memory. Let me look at it here real quick. Yeah, the CF660 gig card, CF Express Type B. Well, of course, it's 660 gigabit. That's what you said in the beginning. It realizes a maximum speed of approximately 1,700 megabits a second, right? Or not? Yeah. No. A read speed, I guess. Yeah, read speed of 1,700 megabits. The write speed is the maximum write speed of approximately 1,500 megabits per second. It's particularly suited for video still shooting with a Nikon Z9 full frame FX format mirrorless camera. Now, does that mean it's a sustained write speed of 1,500-ish megabits per second? I don't know, but they make the statement that it's particularly suited for, and with their name on it, you would think that it would be for their flagship camera. So we don't know what the sustained write speed is, but if I had to guess right now, I would say that it's going to be 1,400 plus sustained. So that's their own brand card. Now, $729 is not cheap, but it's, a little over, it's 2/3 a terabyte. So, how much data can you put on a card that large? I don't know. Does it mean anybody's going to buy Nikon over everything else that's out there? No. So we're going to have to wait and see. But that's the CFX Express card, the 660 gig Express card. So
that's the big one, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Coming out in June. Price $729.95.
Good God Almighty.
Yeah. Hey, those terabyte cards, when they first came out, now there's a 2 terabyte card out.
Yeah.
Somebody said that they're getting ready to drop a 4 terabyte card, but the 2 terabyte card costs as much as a camera.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? And this makes absolute sense. If you're going to buy this camera, the Z9, if you're buying it specifically for the video capability and you plan to use it, you don't have a problem spending that kind of money on cards. You really don't. And everybody thinks that's not true. Well, it is true. If, I buy it for the video as well, but I'm not making a full-fledged miniseries for Netflix with it. So if you're doing that, you don't mind the cards, and you're probably not using, you can't use a Nikon Z9 because Netflix doesn't accept it. But anyway, my point is that you're probably using another cine camera of some sort, but the hybrid cameras have really been hot in the cinema camp as B-roll cameras. So, and there have been some cases where they've shot for, not necessarily Nikon, but I think Blackmagic has a camera that's on the list, and I don't know. You guys can correct me. So, well, anyway,
Blackmagic, what it is too. They're good videos.
Yep. Yeah, we get old Frame Voyager in here again. He's a big Blackmagic fan, and he likes to talk about that. All right, so Jeffrey's going to reboot and then try to join again. All right, thanks, David. Let's see. It's a hand grip with a cord attached to the camera, focusing and trigger. Yeah, Mike. But everybody's already reading into what they can see as far as number of buttons and everything on the backside of that grip. So, or you're talking about the other one for the Z6 and Z7. I've been running my Yap so much. All right. Let's throw Jeff's up here. 1 terabyte SSD for about $100 or less. Yeah. Wonder why cards are so expensive and under $200 for under 200 for a really fast one.
I got a 2 terabyte SSD card for $50.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You got to know somebody at Best Buy.
There you go. Okay.
If you know somebody at Best Buy, you good to go.
Yeah. No problem, Jeffrey. I kind of figured that's what you meant. Yeah, and I have some too. I've got the Ninja 5 up here, and I bought a couple of Samsung. I don't know which ones. I can't remember. But yeah, they're extremely cheap. And that was one of the questions when the Z9 came out. Would the USB port on the camera allow for external recording, especially for video? And Nikon said no. Well, I don't know if there's a physical reason why, or there you go. Yep, there you go. I got the same thing. Yep. You just throw that Adamus case on it. Yep. I have the same thing. So why won't they? Why it's either won't or can't, and Nikon hasn't answered the question as to whether they won't do it or can't do it right now.
That Ninja 5 is the beast.
Yep.
That thing is a beast.
Yep. All right. So let's go back to our list. Let's talk about, is there any particular thing you guys want to talk about? Now, of course, I'm reading the same list that you can read, but I'll pull it up. We'll see what Nikon says, and then we'll talk our way through it. If there's any particular update that you're interested in. I did learn something as far as the well, let me find it here. And Nikon was kind enough to actually break this down into still or photo and video, the list. Almost got sidetracked there. No, we'll talk about that in a minute. Still photo features. Is this where I found it? When shooting 30 or more, 120 frames per second, high speed frame capture, the camera starts. Oh, this is the pre-capture. And, this is a great thing. And somebody's already brought up, well, that's not new to the world of cameras. I think, I don't know if it was Fuji or who already had pre-capture that they came out with, or was it Fuji, Panasonic, or Olympus? I don't know. But somebody brought up a good point. When using, the Nikon will allow you to do this in full JPEG only, and it captures up to 1 second pressing the shutter button. So as you half press the shutter button or push the AF on button, if you're using back button focus, then the camera goes into a mode where it's prepared to pull the last second before you hit the shutter button to capture. It will give you the 1 second worth of photos before you push the button, the shutter button. And, that is kind of cool, but nobody asked for it. And, of course, Nikon was, or a lot of people are saying they didn't ask for it, but they like it. I don't know if it's a big deal. It's not for me.
All right.
It's not for me at all, but, some people, it may make a big difference. Take care of business, Taye. All right. I'm trying to find, let's see. Trying to find the multi-frame capture, because there was I thought it was only in stills mode, but evidently you can pull or select frames from video to capture a multi-frame still photo. Is everybody following me there? Am I saying that right? So for action that you're shooting, you can take, up to 6 or 7 frames and catch every movement in one frame in camera. In the, what is it? The develop module in the camera in the menu, or the editing. Let's see. I'm just looking to see if there are any others in there. Oh, all right. Yeah, Olympus does a pre-capture. Okay, on the OM1.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there are, and here's what I learned, that there are. It goes into a 1.5 crop or a 2.3 crop or something when it does it. I don't know. So yeah, it does it, but it's not doing full frame for or full sensor readout for the photos or something like that. Wow. Sorry. So just so you know, I mean, the thing is that you can now do this with video as well as with stills. All right. Boring, right? All right. I agree. Some of you might want to use it. Maybe, maybe not. The 1/6 increment ISO changes are pretty nice, though. It gives you a more graduated exposure setting, especially in video. But all right, so I wrote down a few things. Let me grab those first. We talked about it a minute ago. The NRAW 50% smaller files than ProRes RAW. And that is big, especially for me, because I'm going to use my existing computer. I'm not buying a new computer, which means that, one, it could crash the computer with all the data, and two, it's going to take a long time using ProRes RAW HQ.
Now, if you get that new Studio Mac, you good to go.
Now, I hear you, but you know,
I ain't got no money for that.
No, I got to go to the boss for that, and I gotta measure my wants.
Yeah.
What do I want more?
I think I got to go outside, sell lemonade.
Yeah.
If you're doing that ProRes thing, I think you got to get a Studio Mat, someone that can hold it, so it won't, like you said, it won't crash.
Yeah.
So that ProRes, that's a big file.
All right. So the updates in the video department with this firmware update, with enhancements including in-camera 12-bit RAW video up to 8K 60p, oversampling at 4K UHD 60p, and the new pre-release capture, here it is in the video section too, that increases the odds of catching hard-to-predict moments. Z9 solidifies its role as the ultimate hybrid camera for filmmakers, videographers, photographers, and creators. Additionally, Nikon has announced they have performance enhancements and other improvements with the firmware 1.4. Okay, that's just the overview. Let me get down here to where they actually give us. Here we go. So in the videography and cinema upgrades for the Z9, addition of internal in RAW video recording up to 12-bit 8.3K 60 and 12-bit ProRes RAW HQ up to 4.1K 60. So there are some limitations on ProRes RAW HQ. Let me go on down the list. Let's see. Power of RAW video allows the extreme latitude of tonality and range of more than 68 billion colors. And if that don't cover whatever you're shooting, I don't know what to tell you. Flexibility when grading or consistency is part of a multi-camera production. Nikon's new in-RAW in RAW video format records a vast amount of scene information. Yeah, we kind of figured that. Yet is significantly smaller in size, allowing for much more recording time and less intensive workflow. In RAW footage can be recorded in the following formats: 8.3K 60p. So there's your 8K 60 in RAW, 12-bit. 4.1K 120, which you can't do in ProRes, only 4.1K 60 in ProRes. And then, of course, in NRAW, you get 120, 60, 30, and 24, while in full frame FX mode. 3.8K 120p with a 2.3 crop. And I can't say that's good or bad. Or 5.3K, almost 6K, 5.3K 60, 30, and 24 with a DX crop. So, for those that are looking for a little extension, maybe that's a route to take in video, is to shoot in those modes, either 3.8 at 120p or 5.3, both being crop modes, one being 2.3. So it may be a bit extreme. You know what? You're using the best part of the lenses, though. Is this getting boring for everybody? I don't want to bore everybody. But I thought rather than, speculating, I would just get the list out tonight and go down the list for everybody that hasn't done it yet and doesn't really want to. 4K UHD 60p footage can now be oversampled from 8K footage, allowing for the sharpest and cleanest possible 4K content. That sounds great. And most people are going to be shooting in 4K anyway for any of the content they're doing, if not just 1080. So, all right, I'm going to stop right there for a minute and jump over here.
David, I just posted a link, but it said April 20th. So it'll be available April 20th. I'm not a Nikon shooter, but I'm looking on Nikon. So you go to Nikon, NikonUSA.com.
Yes, sir.
You scroll down and you can get notified.
Yes, sir.
They come out.
There you go, Taye. There's what it does.
So yeah. Oh yeah.
Here you go.
That's F log right there, and then
that is in log.
Oh my god!
Then color graded.
Yep.
It's pretty.
Yes,
very pretty.
Yeah. But yeah, David, I just posted a link, so
there it is. In RAW, half the file size, all the flexibility. I like that. All right. All righty. Hey, Taye, if you need to talk, because I do it here all the time, I get asked a question or something, just hit the mic mute button. It should be right under the panel there.
Yeah, I see it. They're my grandbabies.
Oh, man, I can't wait to see mine again.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, man.
So how much would a Z9?
$496, $5,500.
Good God Almighty!
Yeah.
So when Fuji come out with it, like I said, the two cameras, it's gonna be less than 2,500.
Yeah. We're still waiting to see what Nikon's going to do. They've got that Z8 hanging out there. I don't mean the camera, but that number Z8 is available, or Z8. And we think that's going to be, some people do. I do. I think that's going to be the baby Z9. It won't be exactly like the Z9.
Or they might come out with the, what you call it, the Z9 II. They might do that, or they might, like you said, they might do the 8.
Well, you got to the possibility of Z6 III and Z7 III. The twos are out now, so you got a possibility of those cameras
Right.
being upgraded to a 3 model, 3 version. And if that does, Gustavo, I don't know if you called or not. Let me throw that number up there again real quick for you if you want it. So here's the number. So we don't know what's going to happen with those. I mean, right now, one's low resolution, one's high resolution. The low light capability of the Z6 series, everybody seems to think is much better, and some will say I can prove it, and yada, yada, yada. And then you have the high megapixel version, the Z7 III, or Z7 II, and Z7. And those are basically the same resolution as the Z9. Z9 has a new sensor, though.
Or they might come up with another 5. Is it the 5.2?
Well,
is it Z5 or Z?
Well, there is a Z5. Yeah, there could be an upgrade to that Z5 too. Yeah, and that's kind of the entry level full frame or full sensor camera. The Z6 and Z7 obviously are moving closer to the prosumer market. You know, being a professional or what Nikon will consider professional for NPS and so on and so forth. But throughout history, since the D3, actually, they've had the flagship camera and then another camera right underneath it that was almost as capable. But size makes a difference, especially when you're talking battery life, because you can put a larger battery in it and other things, especially now with video. The larger the camera, the more you can dissipate heat. So we saw that with the R5 and the issues with heat dissipation, and it overheated. That's understandable. They're working on it. And, the next iteration of camera, they'll probably have figured out how to remedy that. They tried initially with the R5C being more video centric, and you notice the R5C is larger. So it has a built-in fan. So it's there too. I'm just checking the posts over here. So anyway, Nikon has a lot of options open to them. We're just trying to guess what they're going to do. Is the Z6 III going to be different from what the Z6 II is? Is the Z7 III going to be that much different? Could they go super megapixel on the Z7 like the Canon or the Sony A7R4, which how many megapixels that thing? 60 or I don't know, 50. So Nikon has a lot of latitude here.
I think between the Z8, or they might do something with the Z5.
Yeah, well,
they might.
Well, they've got 2 cameras registered right now, and everybody's trying to figure out what they are. They're registered, but we don't know anything about them. So there may be an announcement before too long on what's coming next. It could be the upgrade to the Z6 or Z7. It could be the Z8. They're going to, announce the development of that. So who knows? Who knows? I mean, Nikon has room right now, and everybody's trying to figure out what they're going to do next. My only point of contention with Nikon is they need to get the camera out that competes with the R5. That's the camera we need right now. That competes with the R5, the A7 III, and the A7 IV. That's the camera Nikon needs. It has to compete in that category. Those are the $35,000 to $4,000 camera category. That's where that's at. And anybody that wants to be in the pro ranks, so to speak, not that you can't do it with other cameras, but if you want to be in the pro ranks considered, you're serious, then that's the level to be at without going full flagship model camera. So right now,
since you said that, I think this is going to be the Z8 because they want to be.
And I've been saying it. That doesn't mean I'm right, but I think that that's what they need to do. I really think that they need to get that camera off the ground and get it going because, again, that's where Nikon lags right now is that body that the majority of the people are going to buy. That is the body. Everybody's not going to buy a flagship Z9, although the price is very enticing because a lot of people may have said, you know what, I can stretch another $1,500 to get a flagship rather than waiting for the Z8 or whatever it will be. So it's really interesting. And I think this is where Nikon makes their money. Right now, they're living on the Z9, and this firmware update kind of extends that life in Nikon brand right now. But the Z8, I think, is where it's at. And that's the one that's going to, now everybody's on an even playing field. Sony, Canon, Nikon, and Fuji in their own way, because Fuji has a great following. You know that. And Panasonic is still there. So, it just puts Nikon in the big three now. Right now, we want to say we're in the big three, and we are, but we need that gap camera that doesn't exist. And the Z7 II is not that camera. It does not compete with, in every way, with the R5. And I know some of my Canon folks or my Nikon folks are going to argue with me, and then say yes it does, but no, it really doesn't. And if it did, we wouldn't be where we are right now. Nikon would have already been back up there, everything going, and all the naysayers and all the influencers would have so much less to talk about when it comes to Nikon. So that's where we're at. And this upgrade is really big for us in the Z9 because, again, it establishes Nikon as a brand to get into, knowing that you can move up the scale in cameras, and it's safety, and Nikon is competing with everybody right now, outdoing the others a bit, but that's going to change when the others come out with their new flagship or upgrade to their flagship cameras. So, all right, for discussion, let's see. Z67 brands so damaged Nikon will need to hit a home run. Let me throw this up here for you real quick. I hope the phone number was there for whoever needed it. It may have been you, Jeff, I think is what Gustavo was saying. Discussion is Z6, Z7 brands are so damaged. Nikon will need to hit a home run with the Z8 before launching a 3 version of the 6 and 7 cameras. That's something I was saying, Jeff, is I do believe that the Z6 and Z7 moniker is tainted because it got such a bad look in the very beginning from the influencers. And it's hard to overcome that. Here you go. Here's an example. The D600. Everybody agreed that was a fantastic camera, except for what? The issue with the mirror moving and spreading grease on the sensor. So they came out with the D610. People that bought the D610, those that got a replacement for their D600, with the D610. Still talk about how good that camera is, or was and is. But when you say D600, everybody just laughs. Anybody that didn't buy it, didn't own it, thinks, well, that was a joke. Nikon, messed up royally. That same stigma is going to hang on to the Z6 and Z7 until they really knock it out of the park. So, yeah, the Z6 III and Z7 III have got to be magic. In some way, they have to be magic to get that monkey off their back because, like I said, you say I had a D600, a lot of people think, well, you're an idiot or whatever. They have no idea that camera was a good camera. Well, it still is. People are still using it.
Well, like you said, they got to come like with that Canon R5, so it's got to be top notch with that Canon R5 though. But they're gonna do something like that, so
yeah, I mean, everybody's got to compete in the same space, and if you don't compete with everybody in each space, especially when you get into the pro level cameras, you're left out. Everybody, here you go. Young guy wants to get into videography or whatever, or whatever it is, even shooting stills, shooting weddings or whatever. He asks his buddy, what should I get? Don't get Nikon. Well, why? Don't get Nikon, get a Canon, get a Sony. And from, somebody like you, get a Fuji. Now I can understand it if it's what you shoot, I get that. But when somebody asks me that, I'll tell them, I don't know how you do it now. You find somebody with these cameras, but you go put your hands on it. Don't buy based on what I tell you or anybody else tells you, because I'm going to tell you right now that all the cameras are good, no matter which one you buy. However, if you're going to buy in that pro line, I don't even want to get in that conversation with them. Now, that's not a starting point for a new photographer or new videographer, but if that's where they want to start, then it is a starting point. And it's hard to tell them, well, go buy the Z7 II. It's a good camera, but it does not compete completely with. And everybody's going to say, well, it doesn't matter if you're shooting video, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yeah. It does, because people aren't buying, even if they're buying for video, they still want the best still specs in that camera. Why? Because nowadays it's about bragging rights as much as it is using. And you can say, well, that's stupid. Well, it is, but you got to deal with it. That's just the way it is. So,
like
Nikon,
you said, you go buy your camera. Go buy the camera, but you got to learn your camera.
Yep.
Learn it.
Tico Raw Magic. Yes. And I think that is the deal on the N Raw. We knew it was going to sneak in here somewhere, and it's all about compressing data. Didn't know how or for what or whatever. I had projected that it was for the AF and being able to move that much data at once. And maybe Tico Raw, that's not what it's doing. It could be just for video data. So really interesting to see as all this shakes out, Gustavo. I saw a new name in here a minute ago, and I didn't want to bypass him.
Charles Davis?
No, there was another name. I'll find it here in a minute.
Oh, Joe's Governor, something. I can't say it. A photographer, something like that.
Yeah, it might. Yes. Yeah, Gustavo could have used that pre-release capture this morning. Yeah, I loved your photo, by the way, that you sent of the Northern Flicker. I saw a couple of them today. I've seen them around before, but I saw a couple today fly by. Northern Flicker, beautiful bird.
Hey, Uncle Joe, you might have to scroll down to see his.
Okay. Yeah, I was scrolling up looking for it. Please post a link to firmware data. All right, will do, David. Will do. Hang on just a second. Let me go back here. Gee, man, look at that link.
I already posted that one.
Did you?
Yeah, I posted that one. You way behind.
Yeah, I am. That's nothing new, by the way, Taye. That's nothing new for me. That's why I need people in here as guests. They kind of shut me down, or not. They don't shut me down, but I kind of shut up to let others speak.
I see. Yeah, you way behind. Where you at? Because I post that.
And Mike, you're right. They are going for the upper tier bodies. They can't compete with cell phone cameras. And speaking of which, Vahagan's going to have a video here before long, or a stream or something talking about that. Just stand by for more. It's going to be interesting. We start talking about cell phones and actual cameras.
So Albert, I got XT3 and the XT1. So when Fuji come out, I was thinking about getting the H2, the 40 megapixel.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that, Albert. So I'm still thinking. So between the 26 and the 40, but I'll probably go with the 40 megapixel. But I still love my T3. It still get the job done like the T4.
So what was I hearing? Was it just rumor about Fuji coming out with, or possibility of one being full frame, not crop sensor, APS-C?
Yeah.
Which one is that, or which one are they thinking?
They were thinking about the 40 megapixel one.
Okay.
So it's coming out with two cameras. So I know they're coming out. They said it's gonna be announced in May. So and then coming out with one with 26, like I said, other one with 40, and then it's gonna be we'll shoot 8K UHD and
Okay.
DCI,
Okay.
and then it'll be it's gonna be with the X train sensor. What is that? That's all they're saying.
So Taye, let me ask you a question. Let's say the H2 is going to be full frame. Okay.
Mhm.
Are you interested in that?
Yeah. You know why?
Why?
Because Nikon got that full frame with 45.7 megapixel.
Okay. So what's that mean though about your lens lineup?
I might have to switch.
You might as well go ahead and get that studio mic too.
I might well. I might well.
See, I think that's something a lot of Fuji shooters are going to be looking at. You know, it's going to be hard for Fuji to push that over too quickly or expect a whole lot right off the bat, because that means upgrading a lot of glass. And Fuji glass is good, but why buy? Watch out! Why buy a full frame camera and shoot it in crop mode?
Right.
All right,
What's
folks.
up?
There he is, the man, the myth, Mr. Vahagraphy. What's up,
How
brother?
you guys doing?
What's up?
We're doing good.
So
Hey, hold on.
I know they're thinking about full frame, but
Can
I
you
don't
hear
think
me?
they're coming out.
Yeah.
With it. So,
Can you hear
Hold on,
us?
guys.
Is the question.
can
Yeah, I
you hear
can
me?
hear you.
I hear you.
With the iPhone.
Yeah, I hope that's not your Z9.
Hey, look, Chuck.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's dark here, so
No. Look at the restaurant.
Houston. Okay. Oh yeah, the steakhouse.
Yeah, here. Hold on.
But yeah, Chuck, I think they're gonna come out with a full frame, but I don't know when.
Okay.
They might.
Hey,
if they do, they might have to get new lenses for it too. So
yeah, there's Mozman.
Hey, Moz.
Two criminals on the run.
Hey, Chuck.
How you doing, brother? Hey, Taye.
Exactly.
Oh shoot, lost my train of thought there.
Pretty good. We had a good day.
See my tan line? Look at that. Look at that.
You got burned.
I got burned.
Out shooting surfers and birds. All right, great deal. Cheers, brother. All right, man. That's great. Let me address Jay Goolsby photography. 61 megapixel. Let's see, be a 61 megapixel camera, not the same sensor as the Z9. Okay, so I agree with the second part of that. It won't be the same sensor as the Z9. If you're talking about the Z8, I don't think that, let's see, Z6, Z7 issue was the one card slot. That was only one part of it, Jay. There were other issues also that just got pounded. You know, they got pounded for their AF and not updating, upgrading, getting better, like the Canon series. And of course, Sony already had it, but this was a first shot for Nikon. And everybody acted as if Nikon had been in the mirrorless business for years already and couldn't compete with Sony. And Sony had such a head start. That's Nikon's fault. Don't get me wrong. Okay. And Sony was ahead as far as AF, got that. But those were also part of the issue with the Z6, Z7. But if you're saying that the Z8 will be 61 megapixel, you could be absolutely right, man. I mean, you could be. I don't think so, though. I think it's going to be a moderate megapixel camera that's going to it may be the same sensor out of the Z9. Now everybody's going to say no because the cost would be too much, blah, 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 blah. Well, look at the D3 and the D700, seen it before, been there, done that. Okay. So,
and it's going to be the same megapixel. So that's what I think. It's going to be the same
Charles,
megapixel.
it's an old fashioned.
Asking about the cocktail hour.
So we had a fun time today, guys. We had a great time.
Looking at the comment here by Mozman. So, folks, they were out shooting birds and surfers today. Vahagan had the big lens out, the big gun, his 604. But you met somebody with an A1 and a 600 F4.
Yep.
What'd you think?
Well, it was light. It was okay. I'll let Mozman answer that.
Okay. All right.
Well, I don't know. I like Nikon. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, and me too. But and then we go into people say, well, why don't you like this brand or that brand or whatever? For me, I don't like the small body on the Sony's. And you know what? If somebody were to say, well, you got a Z6 and you got a Z or whatever, a Z6 and Z6 II, and that's small body. Yeah, but even that feels different. But one of the things that appealed to me about the Z9 was it was back to the full body. A lot of these people talking about the Z9, it's too big and it's too heavy. I just thought of something. I had an epiphany. They've never, ever owned a flagship camera. It has to be, because if you've owned a flagship camera, the Z9 doesn't feel different, does it?
Oh, it feels great. What's up, Taye?
What's up? Are you going to get the 800?
No. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
No, I already have enough lenses, man.
Oh, okay.
Well, you never know, though. You might wake up and say, you know what, I'm going to get it. So.
Yeah.
How's the talk, Chuck? How's everything today?
It's probably boring without everybody. If I didn't have Taye in here right now, everybody'd be gone.
We saw Jeffrey earlier. What happened to him?
Mic problem. Don't know.
He got the Walmart. Like I told him. He need to send that back to B&H.
Thanks, Moz, man. It's a good comment, man.
It's still a big learning curve on the Z9, guys.
I know. Wait till you throw that firmware update in there. Then you got to start over.
Now we start all over like you brought a new camera.
Yeah.
Well, we shot some surfing, which was really cool. And then we went out to the birds. Met some cool photographers.
Yeah.
You'll see the video.
All right. Good.
Yep,
So is that 600? Is all right? Okay. So what?
Oh, it's great.
Okay.
Hey,
Nikon or the Sony?
Hey, Vahagan. Gustavo wants to know about that gimbal head with your 600. Did you enjoy it?
Oh, hell yeah. It was great. It was a much needed piece of gear, let me tell you.
Yeah, it does make a difference. Now I'm seeing people shooting with fluid heads. Now I got to experiment with that and see what that's all about, whether it's better or what.
I don't know. Hey, Maz, what do you think about a fluid head when you're doing birds? Yeah.
I don't know. I like a gimbal.
Yeah.
Yes, you got
Gimbal.
to loosen. Yeah, I think a gimbal for at least moving birds. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I got a question for me. Huh?
Yep, here it is. Taye Keyz, Fujifilm is frightened of developing full frame cameras because they fear it would destroy their digital medium format business, which they control completely.
True. That's why they're waiting.
Yeah.
Then I think I had another one too. What's his name? Assad. Got it. Yeah.
There's a question for Moz, man. How's the shutter button placement on the A1, Moz?
He's typing it.
All right. That makes it easy for me.
Is there a lot of background noise here?
No, I didn't hear. I hear a lady talking in the background, but
should I mute my mic?
No, I hear you fine. We don't hear anything, and you can hear a little bit in the background, but now it's loud in the background. Lumix has the best usability of any brand, but Nikon feels best in the hand of any brand. So there you go. That's Hassan's his take on the two. Z9 with the 600 FLs, like sitting on your couch watching Discovery Channel. Yeah, it's a beautiful lens, no doubt about it.
Wait, who said that?
That was Mozman.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, wow.
Hey, everyone, late to the party. Yeah, Todd. No, you're not, man. You're here just in time.
You said it today.
Charles
I
says,
can't wait for that video we do, Chuck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put those clips together. We're gonna rock and roll.
It's funny. I kind of, there was a comment earlier about cell phone cameras, and I said, yeah, I think Vahagan is putting something together on that, and it may be very interesting. So stay tuned.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's hypnotic. Yeah, it is. That's a beautiful lens.
Hey, Taye, where are you from?
North Carolina.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
What do you shoot?
Fuji.
You shoot Fuji?
Yes, sir.
What type of photography do you do?
I do it all.
That's cool.
Yeah, I do it all. Well, hey, don't get me wrong. I'm still learning, though. I'm still learning. I'm always learning.
Fluid head in the studio, Roy. Not as good as a gimbal for birds and sport. So yeah, I guess that would be the case. But I see a lot of wildlife photographers though with gimbal heads now. It's kind of interesting. Or I'm sorry, fluid heads. All right. Well, you said you'd make it in here, but it is a little earlier out there for you.
You're right, Assad. They might well join the L, Mike.
Well,
yeah, you're right.
I hope you get what you want, Taye, as far as the full frame or crop sensor for your Fuji. But again, Fuji, the photos right out of camera are just great, I think, on Fuji.
You really ain't got to do too much.
Yeah.
You ain't got to really, because the colors good, just like the colors in the Z9. So you really ain't got to do too much to the pictures. That's why I like it. So they're really good.
All right, man. So we've had a lot. I bored everybody for a while talking about specs, which is why I quit. You guys can go read it. I'll sit here and go through them if you want, but I just thought maybe some would want to hear about the specs or whatever. Really, it doesn't matter because a lot of people don't have the camera in their hands, and I can understand why it's no big deal. Don't really care at the moment.
Or no, I don't think they're gonna go full frame. I don't think so.
You don't think they will, Roy?
I don't think so too. They might, but
That's good point there, Gustavo. Fluid heads designed for video. Maybe Hudson Henry and others prefer fluid heads as they combine video and stills. Yeah, you know, it does. It just, for me, and I'm not going to answer for Roy or whatever, but I see how it could be a lot slower in panning or elevating the lens for fast moving wildlife, especially birds in flight, unless you just open the drag up, which kind of defeats the purpose of the fluid head. So I don't know. I'm going to start watching. I'll start keeping track of the wildlife shooters that I see with fluid heads.
No, we saw some beach volleyball action, Agnetha. That was a beautiful day at the beach, man.
what beach you at?
We were at Huntington Beach
No.
in Southern California.
Oh.
Mozman taking care of you back there. Mozman's hooking you up, Vahagan.
Outside. He upping you out. So
he said it already. He's right here.
Yeah, he posted a comment. He's taking care of you. He said you went out there to shoot volleyball, women's volleyball. But as soon as you took the camera out and they quit.
Yeah, as soon as I pointed that 600 at them, they stopped playing.
Yeah, Hassan, we never got to that talking about it, but you're absolutely right. And I'm really waiting to test that, try that out, and see what situations that it really makes a difference in. I can see sports shooters using it as they use the hurdlers in their example. So it's going to be interesting to see. That would be interesting, I think, for wedding shooters too, to be able to isolate who they want and build their own box, their customizable focus zone. So, you know, we're going to get some feedback on that from Mr. Vahagan there. Let's see. So we're the gimbal head or the fluid head conversation continues, and that's good. Manfrotto 804 is a beast. Yep. So, you know, I had considered even taking the fluid head off my BYOB. I had considered taking the fluid head off my video tripod, excuse me, and mounting it on my other tripod, my shoot Gitzo 3 series, and trying it out because I've seen so many people doing it. But now I'm at a loss for who I've seen doing it. So I'm going to keep my eyes open and start jotting down some names for some of the sports shooters that are shooting with a fluid head. All right. All right. Anybody else? Anybody else? Hey, Taye, you're going to have to mute here in a minute. I can hear all your background. I know the kids are there, and I don't want you to, you know, shut down or anything, but let's see. Yep, definitely. That lens attracts a lot of onlookers, no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Gustavo, you're right. We got a fair share of that at the beach. What are you shooting? Blah, blah, blah. Nice camera. You know.
Yeah, I'm curious to use this, Hassan, this customizable focus zone. And it looks pretty simple to do. That's a good thing because I need simple, especially with the Z9 right now. It's got so much in it that simple is good. So they need to allow full customizable zones like Lumix does. Who knows? That could be in an update coming down the road or in the next body or whatever. And I'm sure that all the shooters, Nikon shooters, are going to give Nikon plenty of feedback on that.
That Moz man ain't right. He said OnlyFans.
Hey, that's a true story. They're like, you guys shooting for OnlyFans?
Uh-oh. All right. You guys hold down the fort for a minute. Mama's concert's coming on. Be right back. Let me make sure it's up and running for her.
So anybody want to talk about?
Let's talk about some rock and roll.
Hey, do you have the 100 to 400 lens?
No, but Mozman did. Mozman does.
Oh.
Hey guys, I'll be right back. I'm gonna make sure this. I got to go find a cable. It would be something.
We saw two 200 to 500s right today.
Yeah.
Two 200 to 500s, couple of 500 PFs. What else? D4S.
Yeah. Do you only shoot weddings, or you do it all too?
No, I shoot weddings, portraits, concerts.
Okay.
Let's see. I want to get into sports.
I'm learning sports right there, but that's woo.
I want to do sports. I want to do some wildlife. I mean, it's cool. You know what I mean? It's not really 100% my thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather shoot action. Like today, I was shooting the surfing.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it because there's constant action.
Mm-hmm.
The birding, maybe it's really not my thing.
That's for like relaxing.
Yeah. You got to wait there. You know, you got to be patient.
Yeah.
And plus, I don't know a lot about birds.
No, I don't either.
Like this one guy today, he was sitting there trying to teach, like he was teaching me about birds. And he's like, well, you got to know their mannerisms. You got to know, you know, how they move, when they fly.
Dang.
It's like, yeah, I don't think it's my thing. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. I'm still trying to learn sports stuff.
Yeah, sports, man. I love the action.
Yeah, I'm still learning. I shot my son football game. I love it.
Yeah, you're right, Gustavo. Well, I mean, it's no secret. Just look it up. Concerts, man. I can't wait to go to a concert. Seriously, I haven't been to a concert since before the pandemic.
So, which one you like the best? The wedding, concert, or sports?
Shit. Not weddings, not the top. Concerts would probably be number one. Sports would probably be equal.
All right.
But I haven't done enough sports. I mean, I want to get into sports.
Okay.
Yeah.
So which one draw the most money, weddings or concerts?
Which one is what?
Draw the most money.
Oh, weddings, of course. weddings is probably the biggest moneymaker. I mean, for like, you can make good money with shooting weddings. You can make a living shooting weddings. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
And you don't
Yeah.
even have to be that good.
Nope.
But with sports and concerts, it's it doesn't pay much,
Right.
but it's fun. Thank you, Agnetha. Hey, Agnetha, when you coming on live? You coming on live? I shot local bands, great time. Yeah, no money, man. But I mean, hey, at least you can probably license those images. If you get hooked up with a good band, go on tour with them, you can make good money.
Yeah, Mike. I shot when I did my son high school football game. I shot with 55 to 200, but I might get me a 200 lens, or I might get I think they got a 400 lens. I think the Fuji, but that 55 to 200 did it too. But I want to get the big lens, so.
Welcome back, Chuck.
Yeah, crisis averted. We're good to go. We're up and running.
Everything good?
Yes, Mama's happy. Everybody's happy.
I thought you got lost in the sauce.
Me too for a minute.
Hey, Chuck, Agnetha says she's going to be your next guest.
All right. That works for me.
Or at least you could pop in real quick.
Yeah. All you got to do is say the word, Agnetha, and you're in. You know, I just realized I got to start paying attention to more of the camera bodies that are coming out for the other brands, because I don't want everybody to think that, I'm against any of the brands. Had a Sony shooter in here, and I'm going to talk to him, get him back in here. Yeah, IT department, you bet, buddy. You bet. And I'm the worst at IT, so, but I can keep it up and running for her, what she wants. She's having a good time now with her concert. So, yeah,
what kind of concert?
She's all about the K-pop and BTS. Man, she's all about BTS, and they're doing a pay-for concert live on their channel. So I had to hook her phone up to the big screen upstairs so she can watch the concert on the big screen.
Oh, okay.
I keep, it makes her happy, and that makes me happy. Yeah, K-pop's huge everywhere all of a sudden, man. She's telling me these kids drop a video or an Instagram video and get 11 million likes in about 2 hours. Why can't I do that? Oh man, I want that kind of fame. No, I don't. That's too big. Yeah, here's a good comment. I hate TCs, and a lot of people do, and I understand, why or whatever. I like TCs, and I guess that's why they make them, because some like them and some don't. But I'm happy with the TC2X right now on the 1-400. And I saw somebody post today about the softness he sees in the photos. Okay, you know what? And again, call it cheating, but I run them through Topaz Denoise, which has a sharpener in it. And I think they look fantastic. So, yeah, you got to add a step. But it's a poor man's 800 millimeter lens. If you think the 6.3 800 is a poor man's 800 millimeter lens, well, I got news for you. The 1-400 with a 2X TC, is truly the poor man's 800 for certain. Is it as good as the 800 is? No. Is it as good as the 600 F4? No. But I can make it look close just by doing a little work in post. And some of us, that's what we got to do. Isn't that right, Taye?
You're right.
Let's see.
So which one better for y'all Nikon shooter? You think the 600 or the 800?
Well, you know, the 600 FL that Vahagraphy has, that is a fantastic lens. That is a beautiful lens. Yes, it's big and it's heavy. It's not as heavy as the old G version of that lens, but it's still a beautiful lens and it's hard to beat. You know, we'll see what the 400 TC turns out to be. It's going to be, I think it's going to wind up being a pretty legendary lens itself. So for you, Taye, that is a 400 millimeter 2.8 with a built-in 1.4 teleconverter.
Oh,
so yeah, so you can shoot at 400 or flip the switch literally and go to 560 millimeter. So in essence, you have almost a 600 millimeter.
right.
And I don't know what it does to the aperture when you flip the switch. I know it's not going to remain 2.8, but still you're probably below f4 for a almost 600 millimeter lens. New 800 looks extremely good. A lot of people are complaining, well, it's a 6.3 instead of an f4 lens. Or an f 5.6 lens. So we're going to have to wait and see. But so far, the preliminaries look real good. Steve Perry's a big wildlife photographer. He loves it. So let it get out.
Albert, I think Albert said Fuji made this camera with F-mount lenses and Nikon body F5 Pro, which capable with all Nikon lenses. Nah, I heard about it, but I never tried it.
And this is what I've got to get better at, is going back on the history of some of the other companies. I've never shot anything, but I shot a Canon AE1 film days. But I've never shot any of the others. So maybe that's something I ought to do, is rent some of these cameras, but not right now. I'm going to stick to what I do know, but pay attention. Now, Vahagramy's got a guest coming on Tuesday night, and I know you guys have seen his reminder for it, and that is the Ordinary Filmmaker, Simon, over at Ordinary Filmmaker. He's a Canon shooter, but he reviews all brands and talks about all brands, and he's not a negative person about, you know, one camera's better than the other and everything else. And he's extremely interested in the Z9 right now, and especially the 800 6.3. So I know, Vahagraphy, you're going to have a good time with Simon, and you know, I'll be there too. I appreciate that, but I think everybody ought to tune in and listen to that for certain, because he's got some things to say about all the different brands, because he stays on top of it, everything that's going on. And Taye, for you, I know he's following all the Fuji stuff that's going on too. So maybe some interesting tidbits there, and you can add your 10 cents worth to the conversation.
Yeah, he makes a video every day.
Yep.
He puts out a video sometimes 3-4 times a day.
Yep.
He's on top of the news, man. And all manufacturers.
On that, Roy, you know, 6.3, with the Z9, I'm focusing at f11 with no problem for initial acquisition of focus. Okay. It may be that it is a bit slower to track at f11 or f13. So there is some truth in what you're saying, but with the Z9, I'm not seeing it so detrimental at 6. I can't say 6.3 with the TC, but with you know, from 4.5 to 5.6, no issues whatsoever. So 6.3 could introduce maybe a little bit of difference, but I don't think that it will. So 6.3 shouldn't be a problem. Charles says Simon tells it like it is. He does. And Vahagan and I were talking about him. He did get caught up in some of the hype that was going on about Nikon was going under. But you have to understand, he just follows the news and will report what he sees on a lot of things. He gives his opinion on a lot of things as well. But that he was just reporting, that was the big story for the moment. What Nikon was going away. And I think if he's questioned about it Tuesday, he'll tell you that, well, that was kind of what was, in the news, but maybe he can give us his real opinion on what he thought, whether it was true or not. So it'll be interesting. So Roy at Mike, one stop or for 1.4, 2 stops for 2X on the teleconverters or TCs. So right now, as far as dynamic range or noise or anything else, I think with the cameras that we have today, and Frames did a good test. And for you guys that haven't been over to Frames TM, his channel, sent him some raw files. Actually, they were high efficiency star files from the Z9. And he did his own little noise test. And it was really interesting to see what he came up with. Yeah, there are a lot of variables, but I think what he shows is don't be so afraid of noise anymore. We got to get past this. I know there's some people that just can't live with any touch of noise or whatever. Uh-oh, we lost Mr. Vahagan. I don't know, maybe his phone died. Oh, man. Yeah, the S version is a little bit better, I think, in the TCs, especially the 1.4. Nobody really has a complaint about the 1.4, but I think there's a stigma on 2X TCs historically, but I think the S version is much better. Let's see. Yeah, I know you've been talking about that, Mike. No, I didn't get in there quick enough. Hey, Eric Chrome. Where was it? No. Shot, let's see, handle F4 with the Z6 shot ISO 4,000 all weekend shooting high school volleyball. Now, here's another thing. Everybody, I don't know why everybody wants portrait level everything in a photo. Well, I shouldn't say that. Well, of course, we'd all like to have that. But is it as important with some subjects that you're shooting? Maybe not so much. Worrying about maybe there is a bit of grain or something else. I think the big concern is really, will it autofocus at higher apertures or smaller apertures? Ordered my Z9 from a local small camera shop in Riverside. Second in line. There you go, man. There you go. And, the people that complain and, I'm not making fun of them or I'm not going to slam them, but if you really, really, really want a Z9, you'll find a better way to get hold of it. And I say this again, I said it, a while back when the D800 come out, man, that was the rave and it was forever to get one in your hands. But I called all the store. Well, not all, I got the list. I downloaded the list of Nikon approved stores and started calling, and lo and behold, I found one on the shelf. What's the likelihood of that today? Well, I don't know. Probably not great, but if you really want one, that's the effort you put into getting it. So anyway, good on you, Eric. Good on you, man. Glad to hear that. Can't wait till you get it in your hands.
What's his name? Mon 78, something like that. Eric.
Yeah, Eric. Eric Cremone.
Yeah, Eric Cremone. And then I know Albert said the Fuji S5 Pro is a great interest camera for anyone. Yeah, it is for starters. But Eric Cremone, no, it's a Fuji. It's a Fuji S5.
Just left the stream. Okay, gotcha. They're in there listening to us. They just left the stream. Okay. All right.
I'm seeing a Fuji S3 Pro for a seller. Okay. No, I don't want that. I think so. All my future friends, hey, they got some questions. Look at that. I don't know much, but hey, I'm learning.
You're welcome, Eric. You're welcome, man. And again, good on you. And let us know when you get it, because it may inspire somebody to quit waiting on Adorama or B&H and just go out and look for it.
Are you gonna get the 400 truck or?
No, man. That's way out of my price range, man. No. I would love to. Don't get me wrong. If I had money to burn, every lens they put out, I'd buy it. Okay. Even if it was knowing I couldn't shoot them all at once and wouldn't shoot them but once in a while. But
like if you had money, like we had money to buy lens, but
yeah,
the money that we ain't got to worry about the money because we got some left over.
Yeah, absolutely. So you know the deal. You save up, you get what you want. Sometimes you got to sell some of what you have to get what you want, and that's life.
That's why I hate going to the camera store, because when I see something trading.
Here's one everybody's waiting for right now from Nikon: the 2-600 and the other 400 millimeter Z lens. So they've got a 400 on the roadmap. It's obviously not the going to be the one that was just released. So the 600, let me say something about that. A lot of people are even speculating that's going to be a TC lens, or could be. I don't think so, but yes, it could be. On the 2-600, it's not an S lens, but that doesn't mean it won't be a good lens, especially since the S line lenses have been fantastic, and all the other lenses that aren't included in the S line have been outstanding as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what that 200-600 does. I know a lot of people are waiting on that, and we've speculated on the price. I don't know what you think, Roy, but I'm guessing somewhere around the plus or minus on the $3,000, point, maybe a little over, a little under, and I hope it's a little under, but that is a lens that everybody's waiting on. And that 400, 35. Yeah. That 400 millimeter, everybody thinks it's going to be a PF lens. I agree. And that may be the entry of the PF along with the 800. Seems like Nikon kind of shifted grooves a little bit, 1.8 lenses and 1.2 lenses instead of 1.4s. And now maybe 400 PF and 800 PF. So I'm curious to see what some of their glamour lenses will be in the updated roadmap when they put that out. Everybody's jonesing for about a 135, at least a 105 1.2, but maybe a 135 1.2. And we're still waiting to see what the 85 1.2 is, whether that's going to be a defocus lens or what. I kind of hope it's just a 85 1.2 myself. What do you guys think? 600, yeah, Roy.
How much the 400 lens?
The 400 PF lens? That's a good question. Where's that going to fall? The 500 PF on the F mount was $3,500, which was now we know is a steal. A 400 PF, I have no idea, man, but that'll be a lens everybody's going to want. No doubt about it. So, Taye, we're talking about wildlife, sports, and things like that on all these long lenses, but Nikon needs to jump back into the other end of the spectrum and get some of these other lenses announced. That
right.
85 1.2, everybody's waiting to see what that's going to be like too.
So the 800 lens is $6,000,
$6,500.
Right. So and then you said the 200 to 600 So if they already got the 100 to 400, that's 26.
Yeah. Well, they
So
have two lines. They have the S line. It's kind of like Canon does the L mount and whatever, so they have the S line, which is the premium line of lenses. And then you have just regular lenses, and the 2 to 600 isn't an S line. It's one of the regular lenses, being a zoom super telephoto lens.
So it probably for that 200. What you say? 100? Is it 200 to 400? 200 to 600.
Yeah,
600. So it probably like probably in the three range.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that.
Yeah.
Jeffrey,
If you look at all the lenses they got, so you look at the 100 to 400, that's 26. So if they bring something out, something new, they probably in the 3. Because everything they got is between 2 for the 100, the S line.
Yep.
And the 7 to 200 is 25. So
yep.
It's 25. So you probably right.
So we'll see. We'll see. I think a lot of people are hoping it's going to fall in about the $2,500 or less range for the 2 to 600, and that is a very good possibility because again, it's not the S line lenses. So, Jeffrey, welcome back. No audio. I was waiting to see if it was Rice Krispies again. Snap, crackle, pop.
Check your defaults. Check your settings. Check your settings.
Okay.
Okay.
I just went through a bunch of crap on the Mac Studio and was with Apple for well over an hour.
Oh,
I'm surprised they pick up.
Finally got it working. My God, all I got to do is hook up my RAID system tomorrow and make sure that's talking, and I'm done.
you brought it on yourself, mister. You bought it.
I am so fried right now.
I bet you are. I bet you are.
Let there be light.
There you go. There you go.
Whew.
Yeah, you is right on Acro. Yeah, you right. That the color's good. Color's good in Fuji. You really ain't got to do too much.
Yeah, no crackling on Jeffrey. Somebody just said. David said.
Hooray, hooray. I guess I'll have to call B&H and try to get a new cable for this mic.
Yeah, the S5 is the S5 good.
But anyway, I might not need it once they get the M Studio hooked up permanently. Supposedly the mic in that is like professional grade. I might not need it at all.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. You might have to get your money back then from B&H.
Yeah. Yeah. I never get money back from anybody.
Here's a conversation going on in the Aurora category over here with David and Mike.
Chuck, I got to share with you someday with everybody my 24 to 120 results, but I don't think now is the time. I'm wiped out and you're near the end of the show, so another time. I have no gas left in the tank.
Yeah, I know how that feels, man. I know how that feels. You're going to sleep well, though. Mr. John Ishii in the house. How you doing, John?
Hey,
hope you're doing well, and hope you guys enjoyed your shoot today. Let's see. Everybody saying hello.
What's up, Jeffrey?
John?
Hey, Vahagraphy, how you doing?
Good. How are you, man?
Yeah, Echo. Yeah, I just said it. I just announced Fuji. It's gonna announce it in May. It's gonna be May. I don't know what date, but it's gonna be in May. They're gonna announce it's H2. They're gonna bring out 2 cameras. So I just said that you just got on. So
now they're both APS-C, correct?
right.
Yeah.
So one gonna be 26, Jeffrey, and then the other one's gonna be 40.
Well, that'll be.
So it's gonna be up there with the Nikon Z9. It's gonna be up there. It's gonna be up there.
Yeah.
Come on, Chuck. I know you want to say keep dreaming. Come on.
I was gonna say, hold out hope, man. Hold out hope.
Well, I just read they're gonna bring out the they got an 8K shoot with 8K DCI and UHD.
Well, the Z9 is I'm sorry, DCI as well now. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I guess it's a good thing. Look, I'm not a video monster or anything like that. I know that the format is a little bit taller, and that's all really. I don't know if there's anything else to DCI. You know, Jeffrey,
Well, DCI supposedly is used by people who are doing content that's going to be on a theatrical screen. Mm-hmm. If you're doing YouTube or you're doing something that's on television, TV, you don't. But if you're doing a theatrical release, you got to use the DCI.
Hey, everybody. Mr. Hassan said happy Easter. John Ishii said happy Easter. So happy Easter to everybody. Yeah, I guess we're almost. We're close enough.
Yeah, Roy. Yeah, that GFX. I wish they did have put more effort into it.
Jeffrey? No, wait a minute. It snuck in on me again. Here you go, Jeffrey, for you.
I got the.
I just about to read that.
Got the base memory, but I updated the cores, and I got a 2 terabyte SSD.
You probably can upgrade. Can you upgrade that?
Mac Studio monitor as well.
Can you upgrade the Mac Studio?
Yeah, I upgraded it a little bit, but I didn't get carried away.
Okay.
I didn't get the old. I didn't feel I needed that. The base unit supposedly can do 8K streams at one time, and I'm never going to do that. I mean, if I'm doing that, I'm moving to Hollywood.
So the Mac Studio is everything solid in, or you could upgrade like how they do the old ones.
Really upgrade it. You got to buy it the way you want it. And
okay. So that's
it's a cube. The actual computer is a cube. It's not like an iMac where everything is encased with the monitor. The monitor is totally separate.
Yeah, I wanted that monitor with the XD. Is it XD something?
Yeah, the monitor is great. I mean, because it's not part of the case with the the computer guts, it's not quite as strong. It's still 0.7 inch, but it'll take up less space on my desk.
It's got the Studio Mac got the same monitor as the XDR, so
yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, I want an XDR, but like Chuck said, I ain't got the money like that.
John, you got some killer Z9 shots yesterday. Can't wait to see them, buddy. Can't wait to see them. We need to get you in the show again. So maybe plan on next Saturday being a part of the show. I'll send you the link anyway, so you can be part if you want to.
BFF, yeah, you gotta come on back to the future, man. Come on back. Yeah, come on back. You gotta get the ST34. Yeah, come on back.
Mm-hmm. So here's a question on the GFX files. Let's see. Big difference in GFX files from full frame files. I mean, that's a legitimate question. But, I've talked to or heard a lot of people talk about how good the files are on the GFX. Some say the 50 better than the 100. One case in point is Mr. Seth Miranda. He's got a GFX. I don't know which one, but he's happy with it. So I gotta see some of the history of this S5.
Yeah, that S5 was a DSL camera. DSLR.
Yeah. So Vahagan, it's like you're broadcasting from the Ukraine.
Well, or he moved into a cave or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's working on a cave.
Yeah,
There we go.
GFX is 16-bit. Yeah.
So Eric wants to know what kind of shots you got, John. No dead bodies, I guess. Taye, I don't know if you were in the night he was talking about. He's a retired photojournalist. He's over in Malaysia, lives in Malaysia now. Anyway, he was giving us a rundown on photojournalism and talking about it and showing some of the shots and why he had this angle or that angle so it fit the story and, so on and so forth. And then he goes into, and then I went and had to go find a dead body. I mean, that's what he does as a photojournalist. And I think a lot of people might hear that and think, whoa, what? How horrific or whatever. But that's what he does. He's a photojournalist. So.
Let me tell you, that's where the money at right there, too.
Yeah. Oh. Let's see.
It's like that guy that did the show Dirty Job. People that do things that nobody else wants to do, they can do pretty well.
So there you go. Mr. Photo Me Ike in the house in the chat. GFX has more bit depth and better highlight roll-off, which we would expect. So I guess my question is, and I'm ignorant here, I don't know, is it a true medium format or is it an abbreviated medium format, meaning larger than full frame, but not yet as large as true medium format? I don't know.
Right.
But a lot of people that have the camera love it. Even the angry photographer.
Hey, Roy, is GFX is a 16-bit RAW, not a 14.
So a lot of comments rolling in, folks. Good. S5 was awesome with its color, but an uncertainly future at the time, even with 2 decades of F lenses. Let's see, I went with Canon from D30 to 5D Mark II since 2000 and had a wonderful journey. There you go. BFS, you still shooting Canon? And if so, or what are you shooting? I'm sorry, I don't know.
All right. Yes, sir. You're right. Versus APC.
Yep.
APC.
All right. So Eric says, or Roy says to Eric, GFX files are fine, but if it has a leaf shutter, it would be a great studio camera instead of just a great landscape camera. So, Roy, are we talking about that in the case of shooting at higher shutter speeds? The reason for being a great camera in studio? There's a monitor comment. Picked up a 4K monitor, BenQ27, freaking beautiful. Hey, Vahagraphy, we still have no audio, and right now can't see a thing. Just letting you know, sir. Oh, he's driving. He's listening to us. Okay, gotcha, buddy. Gotcha. Don't worry about it. All right. Completely understand. You just be safe driving,
All right.
man.
Yeah, you're right. All right. Yeah.
John Ishii talking about, the S5 before its time because of the color.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something, again, that I like about Fuji is the color.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think they is right beside the Nikon too, so that's why I like it. The Nikon color's good too now.
Yeah.
They good too, straight out of camera too.
Yeah. There you go, Roy, talking about between the 50 and the 100, likes the files of the 50. And I heard that recently from a few people that were talking about whether the 50 or the 100. And a lot of people were saying,
better. 50 more better.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but they were saying 50 more better.
Uh-oh, here we go. All right, went to a coconut plantation and workers husking coconuts. Okay, that sounds interesting. Be interesting to see what you captured there. All right, now we got this going here. So 16-bit raw, photo me Ike. 14-bit raw, Roy Bigsby. I don't know. I don't have a dog in this fight, but I have no idea who's going to Google it. That's what's coming.
GFX is 16. Chuck, you way behind, huh?
Yeah, man, I'm trying. I'm always trying to include everybody, and it just isn't easy to do. You know, everybody wants their voice heard.
You way behind.
Yeah, that happens. And eventually I skip, you know, I have to. Hey, good night, Charles. If you ain't already gone, brother, thanks for being in, and enjoy your comments, man. So we'll catch you on the next one.
He been gone, Chuck.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Yeah. So Eric saying high sync speed is high sync flash is where are we at here? I lost it. Good for Roy had said before between 800 and 2,000.
I mean, okay. Yeah, high speed sync for and like the Nikons and other guys now is to do that. So
yeah, it's definitely nice for that. Now, one of the things we can beat that, I think, with high speed sync in lights, and then if it's daylight, now with the Z9 shooting up to 3200th of a second, no, 32,000th of a second, which I haven't tried yet. That's interesting. You're not going to use any external lights at 32,000ths of a second unless maybe you had a global shutter. Yeah, and Albert just talked.
You got enough play where you just use a little fill light on the subject if you were like on a beach and you're able to get the background just the way you want it with just a little kiss of fill light with the flash for the person.
Yeah, but that's the problem is being able to sync with your flash at 32,000ths of a second. It's an interesting question.
Yeah.
It may be a simple answer, but right now my brain's not working right.
But at 600 right. At 600 can overpower the sun, so high speed sync.
So Photo Me Ike shot the GFX 100 local event. You got to have fast cards to shoot 16-bit raw files. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yes, sir. All right.
But now with CF Express and what we're buying for like the Z9 and other cameras, I'm sure that would work. But can you use those in the GFX 100S? That I don't know. Great explanation, Roy. Yeah, I understand that too, Roy. They have drawbacks. Yeah. So is shutterless cameras, are we going to see, Nikon has a patent in for the global and rolling shutter combination in body. It's going to be interesting to see what that actually is all about and whether it's going to be something that's going to show up in a camera. But they have the patent that was just talked about quite a bit over on Nikon Rumors not long ago. Maybe CFE in the next. Okay. All right. All right. Am I caught up, Taye? You keeping me straight here?
You're getting there.
Yeah, you're getting there.
I don't see anything else below, so I think
you just gotta talk like one of those guys on those commercials that goes like 100,000 a
Yeah.
Well, you just read on Ike, so you on top of the list now.
All right.
When you said the 16 bar raw files,
yeah,
you good.
All right. Wow. So again, folks, welcome to my show where the topic is whatever strikes us next. Shiny object, let's go. That's what we do. But we have a good time doing it. We cover a lot of ground, though. What all we covered already tonight? Everything from the new M1 computer to updates for the Z9, for the Z6 II, Z7 II, a little history on Fuji with the S5, which I didn't know. And I tell people all the time, I learn as much from the chat as anywhere else. And that's what makes us fun. I'm glad you're in here tonight, Taye. Are you enjoying yourself?
I'm enjoying since everybody want to talk about Fuji now, so
Nah.
good. I ain't want to get left out.
Yeah.
I don't know too much about Nikon, but
we're gonna. I'll send you our addresses so you can send us a check.
Mike says he thinks that Nikon's going to bring shuttless in. I agree, Mike. I think the shutter's going away. You'll still see it in the lower tier, but I think that it's getting ready to happen across the board for the cameras that are coming in the prosumer line and up. Yep, save money in manufacturing. Absolutely. Hey, what do you think about this update with the 120 frames per second switch between 60 and 120? And the only drawback that I've heard so far is it may eat more battery at 120 frames per second on the EVF. What do you guys think? Is it really going to make a difference? I don't know. I get
I like what I see now at 60. It'll be interesting to see how much different it looks at 120.
Yeah,
but I don't know how much battery it's going to suck. I mean, I'm happy with the 60. It doesn't affect me that much.
Yeah, it doesn't me either. I'm happy with it, but I'm really curious to see if it's going to make that big a difference. And by the way, Jeffrey, your Snap Crackle Pop is back. It's been back for a few minutes, but we can live with it. We can live with it right now. So don't throw that new computer across the room, okay?
No, I'm still on the old one. I'm still
on okay. Okay.
The new one, if I throw that, I'm in a lot of trouble.
All right. Be careful there, Mr. Vahagan. We're following you here. We're watching you until you get home, man, to make sure you're safe. Just if somebody tries to carjack you, make sure you shine a light on them so we can all see who it is and call the police. All right. You are in California anyway. Let's see. Z9, let's see. With the Z9 and possible Z8, Nikon could basically kill Lumix full frame. Lumix S1H2 needs to be top notch. I think that's across the board. Everybody now, not that Nikon's got anybody scared, don't get me wrong, but I think that everybody is definitely going to up their game, which is why I keep talking about the new the R1. I'm telling you, Canon's going to knock it out of the park with the R1. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And if I'm wrong, I'll say I was wrong. But
if it don't blow up.
Yeah, if it don't blow up.
I hope
See, you got to go rain on my parade, Taye.
If it don't blow up.
It'll be bad if they put a cooling fan on the R1. That won't be good.
Yeah,
no, that won't be good.
They're still talking about the quad pixel AF possibility as well. But I'm telling you, it's going to be fantastic. Sony's been mysteriously quiet since the A7 IV. So does that mean they're all huddled in the back room with the update for the A1? A lot of people are saying the A1 isn't going to get updated anytime soon. So what do they got up their sleeve? You can bet they've got something up their sleeve. But again, it goes back to everybody benefits. If one jumps ahead, that means get ready because your brand's getting ready to do the same thing. So happy to see that. Now that we got the big three competing.
Yeah, it'll just be a leapfrog effect with three rather than two, how it was years ago.
Yeah. Roy says all camera makers are going to go shuttleless now, some with better results than others. Yeah, I agree with you, Roy. I agree with you. And it's not like Canon and Sony hadn't been dabbling with the shutterless. They have. They just haven't completely removed the shutter yet. EVF, it shouldn't be a big difference. That big battery in the Z9 should be adequate. That's what I'm thinking too, Roy. I don't know how bad it can get on battery life with that, but we're soon to find out. I think they bring things up like that so you don't panic when, I noticed a little bit of a difference, in the battery life. But remains to be seen. We'll see what happens when the or the update actually comes out and we can test it. My question is how much different is it going to look through the EVF? And I can't answer that because I've only seen the 60 frames per second on the Z9. I haven't looked through any other cameras. And of course, Sony, the A1 goes up to 120 frames per second, but drops back to 60 when you're shooting or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's one of those caveats depending on what you're doing, what your settings are, it goes down.
Yeah. The R1 will make a splash. Agree with you, Eric. It will. And then for us on the Nikon side, we get to look forward to, not immediately, but how does Nikon respond in their next iteration? So I think it's all good.
I think what bothers Sony and Canon right now about Nikon is Nikon's aggressive price strategy.
Yeah, but how long can Nikon keep that up? Because I made a comment over on Simon's page, and I'm going to ask him about that, where there was kind of an accusation that Nikon was cutting their own throat to underprice everybody. And I can't see that. You can't do that and run a business. There has to be a profit in there, with the prices that they've established for like the 800 and the Z9. I don't see them saying, you know what, we're going to take a loss on these two products. But that was kind of the feeling in the conversation, is that Nikon just did this to make a statement with the products and they've cut their own throat. I don't think so. I think they're still profiting.
I mean, they may not be making margins that the other guys are, obviously, but they want people to buy their lenses. They're making profit on the lenses.
Yeah, and here you go. We've been saying this for a long time. Everybody's talked about this, especially Canon, and what's his name over there with the Canon cripple hammer, the guy that shoots nothing but cell phone footage in a small camera or whatever. The crazy guy chases aliens or whatever. I don't know what he does. He's got a shtick, and that's good. I don't care for it, but anyway. He brought he coined the phrase, the cripple hammer that Canon uses, based on this, saying that they're protecting their upper line cine cameras. And I don't know if it's true or not. And everybody will say I'm crazy because I question it. But anyway, and then the other side of the coin is Nikon never had cine cameras to protect. Why didn't they just go crazy with video? I don't know. Who knows? There's some questions we just can't answer. Why is the sky blue? All right. I know somebody's going to answer that because there is an answer. I'm getting behind again. Taye's going to be on me here. Let's see. So Roy says on the A1, I suppose this is about the EVF. The difference wasn't that much. Okay. So again, it was, they brought that out though immediately when Nikon said we have the EVF at 60 frames per second. Immediately, all the Sony shooters were saying, well, the Sony A1 is 120 frames per second. Okay. And I wondered if there's that much difference. Now I suspect it really doesn't matter that much, since I found out that the A1 actually shifts from 120 to 60 when you're actually shooting, which it seems would be when you would want it to be 120. But who am I? BFS here. Nikon owns a new can of worms, a price war, and I don't know how long it will last. Yeah, I don't either, BFS. We're going to see, though. We're going to find out. There's a warning that Nikon prices are going to go up, too, and they've already seen a slight shift in Europe. So it'll be interesting. But with that on, the VAT tax that you see around the world, and everybody thinks that, it's so terrible when they're in those countries. Well, come to America and we'll show you what real tax is. We might not have a VAT, but we've got a VAT of taxes that we pay for everything. So yeah, don't think that, it's killing you and America just gets over it. No, they tax the air I breathe in Connecticut. Are you kidding me? I got a monitor. It's stuck on my back. Shows how many liters of air I take in an hour. Mozman, home sweet home. Good, brother. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Thanks for letting us know.
The next one's gonna be how much does it cost? You see that one, Chip?
Which one?
Mike said how much does it cost to have?
Here you go.
There you go.
Yeah, how much does it cost to have a shutter box and mirror? Yeah, well, that has been discussed, Mike, and that was one of the things that we discussed when Nikon first announced the price was, could they build this camera cheaper by getting rid of some of the mechanical process and the fact that there was so much precision glass that went into the mirror box and the optical viewfinder. Although somebody said, well, there's still precision glass, and I know that, but not near as much as there was in the optical viewfinder. So yeah, I think that they did find ways to cut the parts and production cost by just eliminating parts and eliminating the, having to deal with the alignment and everything else for an optical viewfinder and a mirror that went up and down.
The next one's going to be, nope, you missed one, Chuck.
Yeah, I saw that too. I just jumped on this. Yeah. Taking smaller profit on cameras and making up the difference on lenses. Well, there's a lot of possibilities. One of the things I guess businesses look at is volume versus being a part of pricing. You can make up a lot of ground selling a big volume at a lower price, whereas you sell fewer cameras at a higher price. And, unless you have a premier product that people are willing to pay for, when you talk about a Bugatti Veyron, they're not making 500 of those a day. That's why they're $2.5–3.5 million a copy. So they're making their money up in, one product or one car or one automobile or whatever. But, and I think Nikon, it's really funny because Nikon said they're going to get out of the lower tier of cameras, no more D3300 type cameras, and go into the more close to and up, prosumer cameras. So the question or the comment here, could they be taking a smaller profit on the cameras and making the difference on the lenses? Sure, that would be one tactic that they could use, I guess. But then they discount the price on the glass too. So maybe they found some magic. I'm telling you, they got some strong kung fu going on in the back room at Nikon. And all this tech is coming out all of a sudden and, cheaper prices. So I understand why people would say, are they taking a loss just to pick up market share? I don't think they are. Then truly Nikon would be in a world of hurt if they did that. Oh, man.
Yeah, and if they raise their prices, which I'm sure they are and they will, well, everybody else is too. So the ratio is probably still going to be the same.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Roy. And I'll take that. I'll take that challenge. I don't know that it is less. I don't think anybody really knows other than Nikon. Is a mirror box less than an EVF? EVF's just a small TV. It's pushing the signal is where the cost comes in. But I mean, I don't know. That's a good question, but I assume that it is cheaper. Maybe not in the development, but once it's developed, I mean, that same EVF can be used over and over and over again in bodies to come. So we're going to see down the road if that is in fact the case. They're going to hit a point where, there's going to be a better EVF in the next version of the Z9. No doubt about it. Somehow, some way, they're going to find another secret sauce. They're going to lock in the vault and keep away from everybody. That's going to push the EVF even further. So I don't know. You could be right, but I don't see Nikon taking a loss. And in the production process, aligning a EVF has got to be much less tedious and time consuming than aligning and grinding and all the polished glass that go into the mirror box. So I don't know. Valid point, though. Valid point, man.
You missed one. Mosman says A1 EVF.
Yeah.
You saw that one?
No, I haven't got to it yet.
Okay.
Nope. There we go. Yeah. Let's see. A1 EVF, in his opinion, was poor compared to the Z9. Okay. And that's subjective. Everybody's going to have their own opinion as to whether it is or isn't. But I trust you, Mosman, because you've been looking through the Z9. And I wasn't unhappy with the EVF in the Z9 to begin with. And now I'm really curious to see what it looks like at 120 frames per second.
Yeah. I mean, the Z9 to me looks so close to like looking through an optical viewfinder. It's crazy. I never thought I would like an EVF, and I don't feel strange with it at all.
I don't either.
Right at home.
Yeah, I don't either.
So Echo, he got a question and said, what are your thoughts on the ZFC? You see that one, Chuck?
Okay, yeah, we're going to hit that next. I want this one next. Let's see. Even when the Sony A1 drops EVF resolution, there isn't much difference. I prefer the brighter Nikon EVF. Yeah, and that was something that Nikon used in their promotion for the new EVF in the Z9 was the brightness and the ability to adjust the brightness, which I have actually done on mine. I thought it was way too bright, and that may sound crazy, but I thought it was just way too bright. I actually, what's it give you, Jeffrey? Basically a low, medium, and high as far as brightness. There are only 3 settings, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I went down to the medium. I guess at default it comes at high, the brightest setting.
Well, there's an auto, I believe.
Okay. I haven't tried that yet. On the ZFC, the ZFC. You know what? I haven't touched that camera. I like the look of it, and it's a cool looking retro camera, no doubt about it. Again, if I had, a pocket full, I could go out to the money tree and say, let's pull enough off to get the ZFC. I'd have one. I am that. I just like the look of it, and it would be a great carry around camera. Although, as I understand, it's a very capable carry around camera too, the ZFC. So it probably doesn't get enough fanfare. Again, we go back to Nikon marketing though. Look at Taye. Taye's not used to being up this late. I hear you, man. I hear you.
It passed my bedtime. I got church in the morning.
All right, brother. Well, don't feel like you have to
just got to put sugar on something. That's all. Put some
Yep. Well, don't feel like you
Jeffrey. Wait.
I saw somebody walk in and hand you something. I thought,
Well, this is my first time on live, so I'm sticking it out.
Okay.
I'm trying to break the record.
Oh, then you got a while to go.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, we've done the 3 hours and 40 something minutes, I think, has been the longest.
Oh.
Not that I'm interested in trying to break it tonight, okay? But yeah, see, we still got 20 people in here, and I think it's because people kind of come and go. Some people come in late, check it out. If they're interested, they hang around. If not, they take off. So it kind of keeps me going, seeing the number up there. And we're still watching you there, Vahagraphy. Be careful. Yep.
Still in the dark.
Yep.
He's still driving. Man, that's a long drive.
we don't even see his eyes glowing in the dark or anything.
Yeah.
Every time
see the hand by the dashboard lights. Yep.
Yeah, when you go through the street lights or something, you can see those.
There you go. You got. Yeah, he's got his hands on the wheel now.
No, son, that ain't grits.
I was gonna say you got Meatloaf playing in the background by the light of the dashboard lights. Let's see. Maybe I'm biased, but shooting them side by side today, I was pleasantly surprised that the Z9 seemed clearer and brighter. Okay, thanks, Moz, man. That's good. That's good to hear. Good to know. And again, I'm not going to pick on the A1. I don't want it. And it's not because it can't produce good files. I wanted the Z9 again because it is large body. So there you have it. All right. Yeah. Mike says, I'll pay 7% retail tax any day. Yeah, Mike, but it's all the other taxes that we pay too. We can't just say for retail. It's everything else that they don't necessarily have to pay with that VAT tax. Yeah, here we go, Eric. This is the comment, and somebody got mad at me one night for making this comment, but and I'll agree with you. Everybody, or not everybody, but there are people that want that retro feel body in a full frame camera. And while I'm not opposed to that, I definitely don't think that's anything to do anytime soon for Nikon. That's not going to be a mass sales camera, in my opinion. I think there are a couple of cameras that have to come out first before they even think about some of these other ideas. But yeah, I mean, not a bad idea. The DF, the people that bought it loved it, had the sensor from the D4 in it, and it was definitely a fantastic camera. But right now, the sellers are the hybrid cameras. Video is what's selling cameras right now, to the masses, that is. Let's see. I always find it strange that in America the price, that's their way of that's their way of hiding it from us, Roy. You don't see it, out of sight, out of mind. Then you go to the register and whoa, what do you mean $438 in taxes? That's America, baby.
Have a good night, Todd. Todd is signing off.
Let's see. It's amazing how reliable a mirror box is. Yeah. As far as what? Just view? Or because you can't have the mirror box without that flapping mirror and everything else. And I know there are a lot of people that have their cameras and, may have been a flagship camera, 400 shutter actuations. That's what it's approved for. And they're over 400. Some people are up to 600,000 actuations and it's still going strong. But I mean, come on. You can't go wrong with no mirror box either, can you? There's nothing to break mechanically. All right.
Good night, Dave. Nice talking to you earlier today.
Nope.
All right, Dave. Nice talking to you.
So we can get a debate going. So mirrors and shutters were technology compromises from pre-digital era. Yes. They served their purpose, and now it's time to move on. Now, Roy, I know you're not saying bring it back or anything like that. Don't get me wrong here. So Eric's saying go for the ZFC or ZFC if you want one, but I don't recommend buying any Z mirrorless interchangeable cameras prior to the Z9 since they like the Z9 standard. Yeah, there's a lot of truth in it. And, that goes back to, is the Z6 and Z7, do they have that stigma that's going to be hard to get past? And yeah, but you know what? The memory's short-lived when all the new things come out and everybody starts picking up the newer versions. And there'll always be talk about the beginning with the Z6 and Z7, how short-sighted Nikon was with one memory card. But, who's still talking about the Canon R that had one memory card? Nobody.
I don't think too many people look at this DFC and say, I'm buying that for sports and wildlife.
Right.
They look at that camera and they say, great for family photos, great for street photography, great for some travel, but not serious for sports or fast action.
He's back. There you go. I see the hand now. All right.
He lives. Remember that?
How many people get an escort home?
Chases the guy. Remember the horror movie, the hand removed and the hand is thrown across the floor.
And he
After the guy,
Vahagraphy was driving a long way. So he ain't stopped yet.
Yep. Sales tax one thing, exchange rate is another. That is true. That is true. But we can't help that. That's not on us, you know. That's a country by country thing. A lot of glass. Let's see, a lot of glass in front of the EVF. You know what? And I don't know. I couldn't tell you the you know, which has more or whatever. I know there is. You're right. There's glass in front of the EVF, absolutely. But I got to tell you, the alignment process, like I said, and everything else, has to be so much simplified. So production, therefore, is simpler, and which means, you know, less human interaction or whatever in the production process. But Nikon is definitely working towards more robotic production. I mean, that's a big part of what Nikon does is robotics. So I don't know, man. I don't know. They found something, though, that made it cheaper. And we'll see if they can continue this process. Talked with a guy in Ireland. Let's see, planning on getting a plane to fly over to get his Z9. Mike, it wouldn't be Nikon, would it? When he got to B&H to save dollars. Yep. Wouldn't be Nikon, would it? I know that he had talked about it. His brother was over here at the time, but of course there were no Z9s to be had. And you guys know, if it wasn't Nikon, he did finally pick his up over in Qatar. I can't remember, during his last business trip. So he was fortunate enough to actually find one that was still sitting there. The person that ordered it didn't want it, and he picked it up immediately and brought it home with him. Yeah, I agree. I agree there, Amaz, man. I agree. And I think that's why it's got to be cheaper. If it had been more costly for the EVF, then I don't think we would have seen $5,500 for the Z9. And I believe you. And that's what I was talking about, Roy. I believe you that it's at 900,000. Yep. A new EVF for your Sony A7. So there's a lifespan on a EVF, or was it just an issue with it? I don't know.
Well, unfortunately, it's like anything else electronic. It can just go when it wants to.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Nope, I still see street lights going by. I thought maybe he'd arrived at his destination. Yeah, and maybe that's going to happen here soon, Mike. There was no time on the Z6, Z7 firmware update. Maybe it's the same time, unless you guys heard something. I didn't see anything on the Nikon USA site about timing of the firmware update for those cameras. I guess
from what I've heard, it's supposedly the same day, 20th.
Same day? Okay.
Yeah. It's just not getting anywhere near the attention. Of course, the Z9 has so much more in there, firmware upgrade. So the Z6, 7, not much talk.
Yeah, Roy, I agree somewhat on that. And again, I wasn't too happy when they announced the ZFC, because I was looking more for a Z9, Z8 type, whatever. But as it turns out, it is selling well, I guess. And now that I've watched it, looked at it, and heard great things about it, I wouldn't mind having one to throw in my pocket, not literally, but carry around from time to time. But I'm not going out of my way to get one right now. Too many other things. Yeah, There's a Z9 battery observation. 2,000 photos today, still have 2 bars left. There you go.
Well, I think the key to allowing yourself to get those kind of shots is don't leave the camera on all the time. If you're walking a little ways, turn it off. Turn it off. You need it, and you'll get a lot of shots.
That's what I do to my camera. If I don't use it, cut it off.
I don't. I leave it on auto, and it will black out after. You can set how long you want it to remain on. So now that's a sword with 2 edges, because there are people then complain about the startup time. Every time you put it up to your eye, you got to half press the shutter button just to get it to wake up out of that mode. So, you know, you got to choose what you want. But first of all, I've shot since the D4, shot flagship bodies. I'm used to that battery, and this one's better than the preceding DL batteries. Or so.
Yeah, more capacity.
Yeah, and people seem to be, you know, kind of astonished by that, but I'm not, because that's what I got out of my D5. I was a bit concerned now that this is so much this is electronics heavy, the Z9, obviously, that it might be quite a bit less than what you got out of the DSLR. But then again, somebody brought up, well, the DSLR's battery had to manipulate mechanically the shutter mechanism. So it's kind of a wash. And Nikon's always going to be conservative when they say the battery life on something. Oh, remember that debacle about the Z7 or Z7 when they kind of threw the wrong SEPA standard for battery life, and it was only, I don't know what it was. They had it wrong on the chart, like 250 frames or something ridiculous. But anyway,
the SEPA numbers are basically a joke the way they do it. Real life, you get a lot more shots.
Yes, absolutely. They put it through the paces, the hardest possibility, with flash, without flash, and, you know, on and off and on and off, and, you know, everything else. But so, you know, anybody that's surprised by the battery life on the Z9, actually, I'm not surprised, other than I thought it might be shortened because it's electronics burdened camera. And if you had the battery grip for the D850 or the D500, that you could use the EL18 batteries in it. I said DL a minute ago, I meant EL. You know, the battery life on the D500 and the D850 was incredible with that battery grip on it, because you had all kinds of battery life, you know, with both internal and the external in the battery grip. So yeah, not surprising to me. So I'm kind of having some epiphanies here lately, just like the size of the Z9. When somebody says, well, it's so big and it's so heavy, I immediately know they never had a flagship camera. This is their first. So think about that when you hear all these people over on some of the other channels or the other forums, when they start talking about, well, it's so big and it is heavy. You never had a flagship camera, did you? Now, I understand why you think that. You never even walked around with a battery grip. I understand why you think that. But maybe that's why it doesn't bother me, because I've had flagship cameras and cameras with battery grips. Guess what? The Z9's no different. Actually, it's a little bit smaller, not much, but a tiny bit, and a little bit lighter, not much. So it's not heavy. And same thing with battery life. If you never ever used it, and a lot of people have never had a flagship or a battery grip that uses the EL18 batteries. How do I know that? Because they want to know where they can get secondary batteries, and then they want to know where they can get a charger for those batteries. So anyway, all right. I'm way behind, Taye. I'm way behind, man. I'm catching up, though. I'm going to catch up here real quick. Just wanted to reiterate how great we talked about that.
You way behind.
Yeah, I know, man. I know.
You at the bottom.
Yeah.
Well, trouble if you talk for 30 seconds, you're automatically behind by 50.
Yep. Maybe I ought to just put them up here and not talk. What's going on, T-Mid? I know you've probably been in there 15 minutes, but I've been running my mouth. All right, buddy. Good to see you in here.
I'm about to say by the time you answer the question, there's about like 15 more questions coming right behind that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. Phil and Heather Thatch use ZFC for birding along. And that's great. That's cool. Nothing says you can't. Not what I'd buy it for, but nothing says you can't. Ordinary USB power supply isn't enough. Yes, you're absolutely right. And another thing is that they cost a lot of money. Again, when somebody says, man, the cost of the battery is outrageous. Guess what? It's always been that way for those batteries. I'm sorry. Again, you're showing me that you never, ever owned a camera that uses those batteries. Don't tell on yourself. And the latest debate is the lens hood. You know, it's like what? $2,000, $1,500, whatever it is. It's carbon fiber. Well, guess what? All super telephoto lenses before had the same lens hood. Go price lens hoods for all the super telephotos. You'll be shocked to find out they're all high. Why? I don't know. But you know what? They sold tons of them. And who's worried about losing a $2,000 lens hood? Not me. You can bet I'm going to take care of it. Do they need it? I don't know. All right, so I'm starting rants now. I got to be careful. Or we will be going for a record. Yep, Todd, I missed you, buddy. So that's how far behind I am. All right, I'm skipping on down.
I think you should answer the main thing.
What's that?
Like questions and stuff. The question that stand out the most. But every time you answer a question, it's like 10 more questions coming right behind that.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of it is conversation about the weight that we talked about already. People complaining about the weight, and it's like,
right.
You know, I had B850s, I had B3 in the day, and it's not a big deal. I mean, I will say when I put the 24 to 120 instead of my 500 EF on the Z9, I thought something was wrong. It was a lot easier to carry around, but 500 is nothing. I mean, that doesn't work. I don't get to shoot wide that often anymore, so I really enjoyed it.
We may be home.
He must live out on the coast. That's a long drive.
There you go, Moz, man. I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you on that. I'm kind of tired of hearing people say it's heavy. It's so heavy. Balances out a long lens is what Roy's saying. Roy, I love you in here, man. You keep me honest. You.
Yeah, Roy. Yeah, he keep you honest now. He take it like it is.
Look at all the professional guys that go out and shoot landscapes, whatever. They're walking up mountains. They got backpacks on them filled with food, stuff to drink, 4 or 5 lenses, 2 bodies, a full-size tripod. And
they got to be some heavy stuff on them.
They'll sit there and cry all day long.
I can't do it. There's too much stuff.
I think I'm close to closing everything out, but this is a good point too. I'm tired of people saying, you spray and pray. You know what? It don't cost nothing in digital. It don't cost a thing. With film, yes. And people get mad when you say, I don't care. I'll take 5,000 photos and out of it, I get 20 that I like. Well, if you learn your trade, but I don't have to. You're not getting the point. You know, if I was shooting film, I probably wouldn't be doing that, but it don't matter with digital. It just means delete, 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 delete. You know, I just, you know, old
I mean,
timers
learn your
want
trade.
everybody else to be as miserable as they were.
The learn your trade issue is someone that just has a big ego. You're trying to get that specific look where the fish is going down the bird's mouth, or the head is in the right position, or the wings are in the right position for that optimal photo. So the more shots you take, the more likely you're going to get the right shot, or the one that you like.
Yeah.
As simple as that. It has nothing to do with, oh, I'm not a good photographer, so I got to take 1,000 pictures of the same bird. It has nothing to do with that. Maybe for some people, but not most.
Steve Perry brought that up too. Will it make you a better photographer? And his comment was not that it makes me a better photographer, but it makes it a whole lot easier to be the photographer I am. Great point right there. That's enough said.
Yep.
You know, he said he got photos that he would not have captured as easily or as quickly, you know, without the new modern AF systems and all the cameras and things like that. So there you have it. You don't have to use it either, folks, you know, and I'm not preaching to you guys. I'm talking about all those comments that come up in the forums by the old timers that want you to be as miserable as they were in the film days. And oh, by the way, I shot in film myself, so I understand. But you know what? I don't want to do it again other than for just fun. You know, I'm not going to be try to be a paid photographer shooting film. That's just crazy. So anyway, I think
it's like your grandparents or your parents saying, I used to walk 20 miles to school in 3 feet of snow.
Both ways.
Take a bus. Like,
yeah,
I'm lucky. I got to take a bus, so I'm not going to walk the 20 miles. And I don't regret it.
yeah.
Moss man, I just said that before y'all got up here. I just said it. You gotta learn the basics.
Yeah.
Learn your basics. Learn your camera and your lighting.
Yep.
That's it. I just said that.
There are so many people I run into that overbuy or buy a very high-end professional camera, and they don't have a clue how it works.
Yeah.
No clue at all. I mean, I had one person who called the manufacturer and said, I looked through it, everything's blurry. I don't know what's going on, but it looks good when I look at the back of the camera. And they didn't realize they had a diopter adjustment for the viewfinder. So it's like, read the manual, watch some video tutorials, learn your camera.
That's why I said
don't be silly. You're going to make stupid mistakes. Read.
Yes. You know what? I will say this. If you really, you know, somebody just starting out in photography and you really want to understand exposure, go shoot a couple of rolls of film, you know, and learn how to expose film. And once you have that exposure triangle down, then apply it to everything else you do. Once you get that, you're on the path to, you know, incredible photography. But you're absolutely right. Those are the basics that you need right there. And as you said, Jeffrey, some people learn the hard way, though. You know, manual. No, I don't need that.
Hey, I read the Nikon data sheet on the Z9 twice before I ever got the camera. Hundreds of pages.
Yeah. You know, my wife asks me the same question all the time if we're traveling. Why don't you just stop and ask somebody? I said, no, I'm where are you going? Nowadays, I shouldn't say she asks me all the time. This is before the, you know, all the GPS stuff, you know. I'm not going to ask anybody.
Well, you're like, I'm not lost. I just like the scenic route.
Yeah, you know, she'd say, well, you're lost. Why are you speeding up? Because I'm lost faster.
Or you get one of the big maps you get from the travel thing when you stop.
So
Triple
we're as bad as these guys in photography. The younger folks have no idea what you're talking about. You stop at a gas station and get one of those maps. You used to get them free, then you had to pay for them.
You got
You
to pay
got that
for
thing spread across the front of the car. Where am I? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Getting punch drunk now. Oh. Yeah, I've got the PDF with me. I do that. But when Jeffrey's around, it's easier just to ask Jeffrey. It's kind of like the two-legged light stand. Move over there a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, my light bulb's a little dim tonight. I'll tell you, all the computer fun and the microphone.
Yeah, after the adventure's not knowing how you're getting there. Oh man. All right. Still got 18 people in here, and I appreciate everybody that's in here, everybody that's been in here, and everybody that's already taken off. But folks, I do think it's time to pull the plug on it. We're going to keep the sacred 3 hours and 40 something minutes alive for a little longer. Because my new friend, my buddy, Keyz, is about to fall over, and
I got church in the morning.
Yep, and I'm gonna help him out. I'm gonna help him out. God bless you, brother.
Yeah, and I still got to learn some songs.
Oh no! Oh man!
Well, I just got to practice this practice.
Yeah, all right. All right. Well, I enjoyed you being in here, Taye. I hope you enjoyed being in here.
Yeah, I'm good. Nice to meet you, Jeffrey.
Nice to meet you. Sorry that I didn't get to talk to you much,
but if it happened again, you can use your phone. You can use your phone too. So
yep. Oh man, and I love all the folks in here. I'm not going to drag out the good night, but know that if you enjoyed it, again, if you're in here now, if you just joined because there isn't anything else on, we're kind of like White Castle, open all night.
I can't sing.
or my favorite, Waffle House. That's kind of what we are. And you just stumbled by us. And thanks for sticking around and watching. And
yeah, man, I can't sing. God didn't give me that talent. I can't sing.
Yeah.
I can play,
man.
but I can't sing. But yeah, nice to meet y'all. But let me know the next one, Chuck. Keep me updated.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely will. And thanks for coming by, Taye.
All right.
Jeffrey, thank you very much.
I'll see you on Wednesday.
And who else? Got to thank Mr. Vahagan for being in here in a most unusual way, but enjoyable. Grits, and more grits. Absolutely. And as Taye would say, with sugar, please. All right. So again, thanks for stopping by. I hope everybody will drop a like on the way out. Even if you didn't like it, just make fun of me by dropping a like. If you're not subscribed, please do. The channel keeps growing, and I'm so happy about that. I'm humbled that people even want to get in here and listen. But this was another great night, in my opinion. I enjoyed being in here with you folks. I hope you enjoyed. So every Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time, we do a live stream. And we also do it on Wednesday, 12 noon. That's 12 p.m. noon on Wednesdays. Don't ask me how long the show is. I never know. So thanks again. Everybody have a wonderful Easter tomorrow. I hope everybody has a wonderful week until I see all of you again on Wednesday. Well, I'll see you Tuesday night with Vahagan. Tune in for that. Definitely. Ordinary Filmmaker Simon will be on. And you got to ask him all the questions you want. He's a great guy, and it'll be a good time. I guarantee it. All right, Vahagan, we hope you're home safe and sound. And thank you, Agnetha. Thank you, Maz, man. You too, buddy. Mike, everybody. God bless you all. I'll see you in the next live stream, next show. All right.
Have a good one. Happy Easter.
All right, folks.